what Coach Engel has been describing as he's just an all-around great leader.
Knet, the 6'4", 215-pound sophomore from Harrison. That's the high school in Cincinnati. He is one of the team captains, though, and you can see him in center field right now with Toriano Clinton, Xavier, and Michael Dennison. So it's not like he's not a good leader, Giselle, because even though he's a sophomore, he's one of the captains out there, and I'm sure Coach Keevers and this entire Indianapolis coaching staff happy to have him aboard, and really all you have to do, pass well with timing and to make sure that you can throw accurately, because they've got a slew of good receivers. We'll get to that in a little bit. But how about Toriano Clinton? He's really the story for the Greyhounds. Number 8, you saw him in the midfield wearing that black uniform. Toriano, one of the best players in all of Division II. What does he bring to the table here for Indianapolis?
Oh my goodness, Nathaniel. Is there anything this man can literally not do? He is definitely one of the greatest players to put on Greyhound uniform. I mean, we can go on and on about the amazing season he especially had last year. And bouncing back to last game with St. Xavier, he definitely just dominated. He had a 147-yard, 3-touchdown performance. So you know for sure, especially with this upcoming year, he's definitely going to bring that presence and definitely that leadership that the Greyhounds definitely need.
As far as St. Xavier, they're returning most of their players from last year's, whereas the Greyhounds had quite a few seniors graduate, a few transfers. St. Xavier, their roster pretty much stays intact, and that's going to be key for them coming into this year because they made the NAIA playoffs last year. They were a good team last year, despite the fact that Indianapolis beat them 34-10. But for St. Xavier, how do you think that having this another year in the system, everyone playing together, how's that going to affect them today?
Definitely for last year, especially around this time actually, with all these returning players for St. Xavier, they're definitely going to look for revenge. They really, in their last game, they led in the first quarter, and then the Greyhounds just kind of took over from there. So they're, with all these returning players back into the lineup, it's definitely going to be just a revenge matchup to see who's the best of the best, the Greyhounds or the Cougars.
The Cougars, who I mentioned, went to the playoffs last year in that NAIA, so not quite as tough a division as the Greyhounds play in Division II NCAA, but they're led by their junior quarterback, Stuart Ross. He's 6'1", 185 pounds from Springfield, Illinois, and he had himself a pretty decent year last year. He showed off his versatility. He can throw the ball pretty well. 189 pass completions to go along with his 285 attempts. That's 66% completion, which is number 4 in the NAIA. He also threw for just shy of 2,000 yards, 16 touchdowns to just 6 interceptions last year. And before we get to kickoff here, we're going to go down to the field with Grayson Holt, our sideline reporter.
Thank you so much, Nathaniel. We are here at Key Stadium with the UINDY Greyhounds and the Xavier Cougars. Today it has been on and off rain, and we are supposed to see a 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. spots of rain tonight. But even with the slippery turf, I do not think that that's going to affect our Greyhounds. I'm just as excited for you to see this game. Stay tuned here on UINDY TV.
Now we've got the opening kickoff, and here we are in a way, the opening kickoff of the opening game of this season, as the Greyhounds are going to start with Jeremiah Lee, who takes that opening kickoff, and he was a trip away from having himself a lot of open field, but regardless, Giselle, he gets almost all the way to the 40-yard line and sets up this offense pretty well.
Definitely, for sure. And this is going to be one of my favorite players to definitely watch this season. I think he's not talked about enough. He does so much for the offense, definitely for the Greyhounds. And one of the keys to the game for the Greyhounds is when they get the ball up and running as soon as possible, anything's possible for this team. So they're definitely got the energy already started up here.
Knet's going to start things off with a 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line. Going to hand it off right away to the star, Toriano Clinton, for Indianapolis, and he's going to reach forward for about 1.5 yards. That opening play of the season.
And definitely for St. Xavier, they know that Tori is the guy to stop. He dominated, as we talked about earlier today, he dominated the last game. So they're definitely going to be all over him tonight, trying to definitely attack him. And
2nd down and long from the 38-yard line. Knet's going to be out of the shotgun with Toriano to his left. Faking the handoff. Here's the first throw of the season. It's caught by Alonzo Derrick, who fights his way forward near the 1st down line. He'll get past the 45 to the 46. That's a yard shy of the sticks.
And speaking of Alonzo Derrick, his first touchdown actually was against this team last year. So it's nice to see him up and going early in the start. Definitely is going to be a big part of the Greyhounds offense.
Alonzo Derrick had the last reception. He's the sophomore from Fort Wayne Snyder. Here's the next play out of the pistol. The handoff goes to Clinton, who pushes forward, and it looks like he's going to have the first down. He sure will. They're going to move the chains. Mark him down at the 48-yard line.
And once again, St. Xavier is definitely not playing around with Torrey. That's going to be the man to stop, and they're doing so far a really good job of just trying to tackle him.
They have done a pretty good job of keeping him at bay. He's only had 2 carries and really only for a gain of a yard or 2 on each one. So now it's a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 on the Greyhounds side of the 50, but at the 47-yard line. Connett sends a man in motion. That's Kevin McNeilis. His hands snap together. That indicates they're going to throw the ball here as he runs to the near side. Can tuck it himself, and he will, and he'll get close to the first down yard marker. It appears they are going to move the chains for the second first down of the game, and a nice scamper by the quarterback.
And Michael Engel was talking about earlier in an interview of how good Connor Connett is really good at running the ball. So he definitely is going to switch it up a little bit on the offense for the Greyhounds here.
The Hounds sent up with another set of downs. The running back here, not Toriano Clinton, but Jaden Schlabach, the freshman seeing his first action this season in his early Hounds career. Standing out of the shotgun, the hand goes to Schlabach, who lowers his shoulder and only gains about a couple yards, but gets to the 40.
And definitely St. Xavier is up on a hot start with their defense, and they're trying to stop the Greyhounds, who are barely just making through.
The Hounds we see are running the ball quite a bit, but not quite getting much success in that regard. We'll see if that can change here, but first they've got a 3 wide receiver set up on the open side of the field for this 2nd down and 8. Connett with the play action pass, looks down the field, and that is a dropped ball. Great play by the defense, but intended receiver was Kamau Ransom, the freshman. A lot of rave reviews from this kid. He's starting his first ever collegiate game for the Greyhounds, was an 8A All-State last 2 years at Evanston Township in Illinois. Very athletic, a very pretty tall receiver at 6'2", 195 pounds, and can't get his first grab there, though. It's 3rd down and 8 from the 40-yard line. A lot of movement in the neutral zone, and the flag flies. Maybe a free play here from Connett, who's going to scramble out, looking to throw deep. He's got his free play, he's trying to use it. The interception, but of course, there is that flag on the play. And Giselle, when you see that flag go, how does that affect the mindset of the quarterback, where he could have just taken off and ran it there, but instead went the risky play?
Yeah, Connor's definitely, as we mentioned earlier, he's definitely a runner, but for sure it's going to really kind of affect his game a little bit here, kind of a little shaky, and definitely going to he's trying to help the team win for tonight.
It'll be a 5-yard penalty after that offsides by the defense, so that'll set up the Greyhounds here with a 3rd down and 3 situation from the 35-yard line. A lot more manageable than 3rd down and 8. Maybe we're going to see a run play here with Toriano Clinton standing to the left of Connett, who's out of the shotgun, who hands off the ball. Sure enough, and now Clinton to the races. He goes to the outside, lowers his shoulder, and finds his way out of bounds to move the chains yet again. So, Giselle, we've seen a lot of runs today. Not a lot of success in terms of yardage, but they've converted 2 first downs on the ground.
Yeah, but the Greyhounds definitely are trying to get hot and going, especially in the upcoming first minutes of the game. They're definitely going to try to just go around their defense.
And now they're going with a hurry-up look here, trying to get back to the line of scrimmage quickly. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line of St. Xavier, knocking on the door of the red zone. Here's Clinton, who lowers his shoulder and violently moves forward for a gain of about 6 or 7 yards. That's inside the 25 to the 23.
And Torrey's switching it up a little bit. Instead of going to his right, he's now starting to go more inside, and they're definitely attacking him on the inside.
It's Toriano Clinton who's going to head to the sideline, but how about Toriano? Over 200 carries last season, over 1,500 yards, 17 touchdowns. Plenty of records, which we'll get into here in just a few moments, but first the play on 2nd down and 4, 23-yard line of the defense. Hand is the tight end in motion. Connett with Schlabach standing to his left. He'll hand it off to him, but how about this? The defense getting right in to the offensive backfield and making the tackle. Great play by Jaleel Holloway. had 5 sacks last year. Picks up a tackle for a loss there. 10 of those all of last season. He really has a knack for getting into that offensive backfield.
And if I'm the Greyhounds right now, I'm going to be a little worried right now because St. Xavier is definitely contesting them on these tackles and just trying to stop them.
It's going to mean a lot on the arm of Knet, who's looking at a 3rd down and 8. He's got time to throw, but flags fly. We'll wait and see as it's a dead ball. How about Toriano Clinton, though? He's not in the game right now, and part of the reason is because he struggles through asthma. So even though he was a Harlan Hill candidate last year, he's probably the best running back the Greyhounds have had on the field. He still has to take quite a few breaks on the sideline to catch his breath. He's talked about it a little bit about how that can affect him, but it doesn't matter because he can still rack up yardage. Like I said, a single season record for the Greyhounds, 15,025 yards on the ground last season. That was only in 8 games, Giselle. Pretty crazy. He was able to accomplish so much and got injured the last 3 or 4 games of the year.
And that definitely played a part in the Greyhounds' success towards the end of the season because they started the season pretty hot. And towards the end, especially when he was out, they kind of let go of the gas pedal a bit, and that really did affect them in the long run.
3rd down and 13 after the penalty on the offense moves them back 5 yards. They're at the 32-yard line. Big play here is Knet with a lot of pressure on his face, has to roll out, has a guy open downfield, and instead he just throws it out of bounds. Chooses a safe route instead of risking that interception, and now we're going to see the field goal unit out for the first time this season. Or might we see them go for it?
And Connor trying to switch it up a little bit, switch things up on offense instead of just running with the ball. But unfortunately, he could just not get that pass going as it was incomplete on the right side, excuse me.
Inside of 10 minutes to go here. Greyhounds trying to mount this opening drive and keep it going. We'll see if they can do that here. It's 4th down and 13, a pretty tall task in front of them at the 32-yard line. Trips receivers to the far side. Looking to throw his Knet. He's going to go downfield after the pump fake, and it's just out of reach of his shorter receiver, and Alonzo Derrick. He's just 5'8", and that throw required someone to be about 6'4", and that's the turnover on downs. The Greyhounds' opening drive of the season results in a failure.
And unfortunately, Alonzo just couldn't get it going. You know, he tried doing it with a one-handed catch, but fortunately, it just couldn't get contested on that end.
I wouldn't say it wasn't really his fault. It was just overthrown. So Knet, a lot of pressure in his face, had to step up in the pocket and really just struggled to get that throw off. And now on the other end of things, we're going to see the first look at Stuart Ross this season, the junior from Springfield, Illinois. He'll be standing out of the shotgun with his receiver, rather his running back standing to his right. That's Kyle Quinn. Quinn's going to get the quick little pitch, and the Greyhounds are all over it. How about Benjamin Hunias to get in the backfield and make the first tackle for a loss and get momentum on the Greyhounds' defense side?
And Coach Keever speaks so highly of his defense, and he's just saying of how much they just improved on that side this year and how they're going to be such a huge factor in the Greyhounds' success this season.
A 4-yard loss sets up the offense now, 2nd down and 14. That's the wide receiver, Kyle Quinn, who's currently in the backfield acting as a running back. Quick throw. The screen is complete to the far side, and running away will be Justin Pringle. Pringle last year led the team in receptions. He had over 50 of those, 776 receiving yards and 7 touchdowns, and he has a nice gain on 2nd down. Gets it within 3 of the first down marker. Ball's at the 39-yard line.
Now the Greyhounds kind of looking for revenge after a little bit of a shaky offensive start. Now they're switching it up here, especially on the defense, and they're trying to get things going.
Matthew Chavers, Jr., the running back, standing to the left of Ross as the whistles blow this play dead. Flags fly before the ball was snapped. And this is big, Giselle. You have a 3rd down and 3. It's pretty manageable. Now you're going to have a 3rd down and 8 after they have to move back 5 yards. How big of a difference does that make?
Makes a huge difference for the team. They're definitely going to really just take advantage of that and try to do the best they can to connect on the other side.
Makes things a lot harder for this upcoming play. It's 3rd down and 8 from the 34-yard line instead of what would have been a 3rd and 3. This Greyhounds defense showing a lot of pressure. The linebackers on the line of scrimmage. Looking to throw is Ross. He's got a little bit of time, has to step up in the pocket, And he's brought down. No, he'll keep it going, but not for much. He'll gain about 2 more yards after that. Flags fly, though, Giselle. This could be huge. A team that would have likely had to punt could be with a big break here after that flag flies.
Yeah, and definitely Stuart Ross kind of doing what Connor Kennett was doing, definitely starting to run the ball a little bit more and trying to switch it up on the offense for St. Xavier.
Waiting to hear what the call is from the referees this afternoon. Could be something on the hit. Sure enough, it'll be unnecessary roughness. So what would have been the punt team coming out, instead we're going to have a 15-yard penalty and some new life for this offense who really needed it after the Greyhounds did a great job on defense those first 3 plays. Now they've got a new set of downs. It'll be 1st down and 10 from the 48 on St. Xavier's side of the field. Man-to-man coverage on the outside as this throw goes to the corner, and it's just out of reach of Mason Gray, the 6'3" senior from Chicago, who is racing his way down that far sideline, not able to haul in the pass, just a bit overthrown. And really, you might say that it was good coverage. Great job by the secondary, who have a little bit of turnover going into this year. Had a couple players who transferred away, had a couple players graduate, had a couple injuries as well, but that was a great job by the redshirt junior Landry Mavungu. Played a lot of great snaps last year, and he's in there on man-to-man coverage as he is now. Here's the fake, or rather the handoff to the right side. Nothing there, though, as the Greyhounds defense able to get in and swallow him up for another tackle for a loss. A whole bevy of Greyhounds in the backfield. Drop the offense back 2 yards. Now 3rd down and 12. Another tall task for this offense. Showing the trips look at receiver on the far side. You've got the big body Mason Gray at the bottom of the screen. Out of the shotgun. A lot of pressure now in the face of the quarterback Ross, who's brought down for a sack. The Greyhounds defensive line and linebackers get home. And man, they have done that all day here at Key Stadium. Now we'll see the punt team come out. So the gift penalty gave the Cougars the new life. They had 3 extra downs and could do nothing with it as this defense comes out looking hungry. Even the secondary, who is where a lot of the concerns were lying, they were able to play pretty well, man-to-man coverage. And this defense looking like they are firing on all cylinders early. Here to punt, Ryan Zeller. It'll go off his right foot. A wobbly kick. No roll, pretty nice roll for the punter. That's a great job by the special teams unit of the Cougars to pin the Greyhounds back deep. It'll be officially called down at the 12-yard line of Indianapolis, and that's where they're going to set up here. Alonzo Derrick didn't want to touch it. We'll see if he can get some snaps in at receiver, though. So after each defense, done a good job holding things still when it mattered. We'll see if the offense's second drive can produce anything of note. That opening drive for the Greyhounds ended up going pretty well. It was for Indianapolis, Connor Kennett, 1 for 4 for 8 yards, so not a whole lot through the air, but on the ground, able to move the ball a bit. He had an 11-yard rush, the quarterback Kennett did. Clinton had a couple of rushes for 8 yards. As now they're in the pistol formation. Handoff goes to Clinton, who has a lot of space in front of him. This is where he does his damage at the 30-yard line and racing down the field. Just a couple guys to beat. Clinton still on his feet. 1 man to go. He's going to make it all the way. Toriano Clinton does it again. So many times last year he found pay dirt, and he does it here. How about Toriano Clinton? We talked about it. 17 rushing touchdowns last year in only 8 games, and he picks one up early. You pin the offense back deep, it doesn't matter when you've got an electric rusher like Toriano Clinton, who picks up his first big rush and his first touchdown of this early season. And now we're going to have this special teams unit come out and see if they can put the ball through. Colin Seymour for the Greyhounds, puts it between the uprights, and that's the opening score of the game. 7-0, Indianapolis with the early lead. When we return, more action next. You're watching Greyhound football on UINDY TV.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student-athletes. College sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student-athlete.
Do what? If not, you're fine. Back here at Key Stadium for this opening weekend. Kickoff coming here momentarily for Indianapolis. Getting to enjoy a pretty short drive. It was only one play, and it was Toriano Clinton, who now has almost 100 yards on the day after one rush. A pretty impressive one from Toriano. It was just a one-play, 88-yard drive. Lasted a whole 14 seconds for the Greyhounds' best player to make his way into the end zone. A drive that started on the 12-yard line. And now the Greyhounds going to kick this one away. A nice kick from Seymour, pretty high one. Going to be picked up by one of the up men. And he's tripped up. Nice play on special teams. Great job by the Greyhounds' Rasheed Harris to make that play, as Fitzgerald took the kick return and now sets up this offense. We'll see how St. Xavier's offense can do their second time out. First drive not quite as successful as they would hope. 6 plays, only 7 yards gained on their own, and in a punt. They did get a 15-yard penalty to advance the drive at one point, but not a lot of success on the offensive side of things. This Greyhounds defense looks great coming out. It's first down and 10 from the 26-yard line. Ross will be standing out of the gun, looks to throw quickly, and he will make that early completion. His quick receiver, and Kyle Quinn makes the reception. He had 23 catches last year, 200 yards. Also had 12 rushes for 56 yards. We saw him get a carry to open up this game. Pretty good dual threat for this Cougars offense. He'll gain 3 yards on the play, sets up second down and 7 from the 29. So here's Ross out of the gun, a heavy set formation. Quick throw, that'll set up the screen. We just talked about him, and Kyle Quinn, as he is now brought down inside the boundaries. And that'll let the clock continue to roll. A gain of about 2, sets up third down and medium. Making the tackle for Indianapolis was the safety Cavante Houston. Played 9 games last year, only had a tackle, but now he's seeing a lot of extra minutes in this starting role. Looking to throw another quick slant. These things are working for the offenses. Now it's going to be enough to move the chains. A nice catch and run by Justin Pringle, and it seems like this quick passing game is working for the Cougars. Do a good job to gain their first down of the game by virtue of the passing game. Gets them all the way to the 39-yard line, and now out of the pistol. Trying to go quickly, trying to get this defense caught off guard. The handoff goes to the left side, and the big bruiser running back is brought down by 4 Greyhounds, including Xavier Guerrier, as nothing is there for Matt Shavers III. That loss of about 2 will set up second and long, and again the offense pretty quickly getting back to the line of scrimmage. We'll be set up with the 4 receiver set. We're going to see that quite a bit today. This team loves their extra receivers, 2 to each side, including the bunch at the bottom of the screen. Ross, another quick throw. This one goes out of bounds, and now a flag flies. We'll wait and see. It could be technically called intentional grounding, although it seemed like just a miscommunication between the quarterback and his receiver. Thought he was going to go outside towards the boundary. Instead, the receiver broke inside, and that left nobody in the area where the ball landed. We'll wait and see what the call is from the head referee. Oh, they're going to call it roughing the passer, so the second personal foul by the defense here. Playing good, but maybe a little too physical. The unnecessary roughness on the last drive, now a personal foul here. That'll move the chains and give the Cougars a freebie, getting them onto the Greyhounds side of the field. They'll be set up on Indianapolis's 48-yard line. 1st and 10 with a trips formation. Stuart Ross, the junior quarterback, fakes the handoff, a slow fake. Now he's going to step up in the pocket, has time, throws it, and it's caught this time as Pringle makes the reception and stays on his feet. He's still up. He dropped the ball, though. It's picked up by the Greyhounds. Going the other way with plenty of room in front of him. Finally brought out of bounds was the safety in Cavante Houston. I just sung his praises a couple plays ago, and there he scoops and goes all the way inside the Cougars' 30-yard line. What a momentum swing, as it appeared like Pringle could have taken this one the distance. Instead, it's picked up by the Greyhounds. A great hit by Indianapolis, an even better scoop, and he makes his way all the way to the other side of the field. Not a bad start for Cavante Houston this season, the sophomore from Chicago, Illinois.
Cavante Houston. And now we'll let the officials carry on.
We're going to wait as the officials are going to talk this one over. This could be
personal foul, illegal block below the waist, number 5 of the offense. That penalty is declined.
Every Greyhound fan in this stadium held their breath for the last 20 seconds, but all that, and it was a flag against St. Xavier, so they're going to decline it, obviously, and set up the Greyhounds inside the 30. They'll mark them down at the 34-yard line, rather. So now the Greyhounds early get a turnover and set up this offense with a 1st down and 10 at the 34-yard line.
UINDY football, 1st and 10, ball spotted on the Cougars.
It was the Greyhounds' last drive. Just a play, went 88 yards off the feet of Toriano Clinton. He's standing to the left of Connor Connett, who violently claps his hands in motion as Kevin McNeilis. Connett fakes the handoff, steps back with plenty of time. It's a 3-step drop, throws it downfield to the end zone, has a man open. No, it's just out of reach of Alonzo Derrick, who is very upset visibly as he runs towards the corner of the end zone. A bit better of a ball, and that's a touchdown.
2nd and 10 coming up for UINDY.
3 receivers head to the sideline for Indianapolis. Those are 3 of the starters, as now a new crop comes in for Indy. Bit of a heavier set. Frank Bentley, John Einman, 2 of the receivers that we're going to see here today, and as well as this new Marquez Gillum. He's a freshman. He's probably the fastest player on the field right now. He's currently standing in the slot. Here's 2nd down and 10. Ball's on the 34-yard line. Rolling out. Connett, quick throw, picked up by Einman. Einman with room in front of him. He's a physical receiver as he lowers his shoulder and makes his way out of bounds to move the chains. Gets the ball to the red zone. It'll be inside the 20. And we just saw a full platoon swap by this Greyhounds receiving corps. You had the 3 starters and Alonzo Derrick, Kamau Ransom, and Jeremiah Lee go to the sideline and bring in the 3 backup receivers in Bentley, Gillum, alongside, we mentioned there, John Einman. It's because they're so deep at receivers. We'll talk more about that here in a moment. But first, the run up the middle goes to Schlabach. As he gains a few yards, gets it to about the 18-yard line. Schlabach with a nice run. But how about this Greyhounds receiving corps? They've got 6 guys that they're comfortable with on the field at any given point, maybe even 7 if you go deeper down that depth chart. To put it in perspective, Stephen Towns Jr. was an all-conference receiver for McHenry last season. He transferred to Indianapolis and is currently holding his helmet on the sideline. Greyhounds are so deep a receiver that they've got an all-conference player not even on the field. And actually right now he'll be on the field seeing some opportunity here out of the slot. Looks to run block because Toriano Clinton has the ball and runs his way inside the 10 to the 5-yard line before he loses his helmet, but not after he gets the ball past the sticks to move the chains. So you almost need 3 hands if you're going to count how many receivers the Greyhounds are happy with on the field at a given time. And there we see the run blocking even do plenty of wonders for Toriano Clinton as he makes his way to that 6-yard line. It'll be a 1st down and goal from that area. Clinton gets a break. Jaden Schlabach is the running back. Canet out of the gun. Quick handoff up the middle. And a nice play by the defense to swallow him up. Jaleel Holloway gets his second tackle for a loss this game.
Number 22, that's Joey Arkansas. No gain on the play.
The Greyhounds again with one of these platoon swaps. They also have 3 running backs, potentially 4 that they're comfortable with on the field. And now we see the third on the depth chart. Jaquan Buchanan, still had a great year last year. Just shy of 80 carries, about 400 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns. Started the last 2 games due to that injury to Clinton. Had 30 carries in those 2 games. A capable back standing to the left of Canet out of the gun. Spread formation, faking the handoff, looking to throw, looking for his first touchdown of his career. And he gets it. Keeping the feet in bounds is the freshman receiver, Kamal Ransom. The 6-yard touchdown pass goes from Connor Canet to Kamal Ransom, who gets his first receiving touchdown of his young UINDY career. And that'll bring out the PAT unit for Indianapolis. Colin Seymour, the kicker. Down to hold for Indianapolis, KJ Raudebush. Ball goes up between the uprights. It's a successful kick. The Greyhounds put up 2 quick scores. And that's where we're going to leave this one as we take a break. 14-0 Greyhounds with the advantage. More next on UINDY TV. Back in Indianapolis at Key Stadium as the Greyhounds put up their second touchdown of the season. The first one was by way of an 88-yard rush on the ground. This one through the air as a couple first. It's the first time that quarterback Connor Canet has found pay dirt through the air, and same with his freshman receiver Kamal Ransom. So now for Indianapolis, it's Colin Seymour ready to get this kickoff underway. The ball's up, a booming kick will go around the 10-yard line and picked up by the returner there, as now we've got a nice look in front of us. St. Xavier with Kyle Quinn on the return.
Return number 9, John O'Sullivan for the Cougars, and brought down by KJ Raudebush. St. Xavier will take over possession, 1st and 10.
Let's see how the offense for St. Xavier looks after a couple failed drives. More so, great job by the Indianapolis defense, so we'll see how things can go here. Facing a great-looking unit wearing black. Here's Ross, quick handoff, a reverse going to the outside. However, the defense is all over it. There's not anything going here, and the receiver is dropped quickly to the ground. Can't find any room. That's David Mays, the sophomore. Had a carry for 9 yards last season. That was his only rush of the year, and there, his first rush of this young season. He'll lose 5 yards.
Brought down by number 15, Breon Eddings on the tackle. Second and long.
Inside a minute to go in the opening quarter of this game. Stick around because at the end of the quarter, Grayson Holt will have a sideline report for us. But before that, here's Stephen Ross. His pass batted down.
Pass tipped at the line of scrimmage.
A great tip by the Greyhounds, who really are doing a great job on defense early in this game. Aaron Barnett, the defensive lineman, reaches up and gets that bat. Last year, Barnett, in a rotational manner, had 9 tackles, 5 for a loss, 2.5 sacks. A forced fumble and a quarterback hurry, and there he gets a nice pass breakup as he reaches up and swats that one out of the air. It's pretty big for the Greyhounds because that turns a 2nd and 15 into a 3rd and 15, a tall task. In front of Stuart Ross. Standing to his right his receiver slash running back, we'll now call him, Kyle Quinn. Another batted pass, and it's Barnett with 2 of those. And that will force the punt unit out a very quick drive. 2 passes batted at the line of scrimmage. Stuart Ross cannot get things done for this offense. And he's standing there with his hands on his hips in defeat. So you can see him walking off the right side of your screen.
Back deep to receive for the Hounds, number 5. That's Alonzo.
So now we'll have a 4th down and 15 in front of us as the punt unit comes on for St. Xavier.
Number 6, Justin Pringle.
Justin Pringle into punt. We've seen quite a few different kickers and punters for this team over the last year. Pringle, one of those players, he's a receiver, can also punt, and he gets it right into the fair catch arms of Mr. Alonzo Derrick. That'll down the ball at the 45-yard line for Indianapolis.
45-yard line.
So now the Greyhounds, who have their 2-touchdown lead, we'll see what they can produce here on offense. Just under 40 seconds to go in this quarter, but still a whole second quarter in front of them, so no hurry. Clock does not really make much of a difference, just gives them an extra breather. Here after a couple plays, that'll be 1st down and 10. From the 45-yard line, out of the pistol formation, it appears, as Connor Kinnett steps up. He's got Toriano Clinton behind him. For Indianapolis, it is Toriano, who already has over 100 rushing yards, 107 to his name early in this game. This handoff goes to Clinton off the right side, and he makes a little half jump and finds his way to move the chains. Pulled out of bounds eventually, but not after he gets past the 1st down marker. Ball goes inside the 45 to the 44. And now the clock will start to roll. The Greyhounds can let it roll all the way down to 0 and move to the second quarter, or they can take another play here. I imagine they'd like to get another play off. Clinton to the sideline. In his stead will be Schlebach. First and 10 from the 44-yard line. Kinnett lets the clock roll down to 0, and that will conclude the first quarter. And with that, we're going to go down to the sideline with our reporter and Grayson Holt. Grayson, what do you have for us?
We saw some great defense in the first half of this game. The UINDY Greyhounds are leading 0-14 right now. They scored 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. I think that this crowd is keeping them hyped up. Stay tuned here on UINDY TV.
From across the country and the world to become UINDY Greyhounds. Please join us in congratulating these dedicated members of our UINDY faculty and staff team. Welcome.
Back here at Key Stadium, a 1st down and 10 in front of us. I'm Nathaniel Finch with UINDY TV as we've got the Greyhounds on offense. After the quarter break, 15 fresh minutes here in quarter number 2. Connor Kinnett out of the shotgun formation. Clinton is running back, a spread formation for this offense. Rather, we've got Schlebach, the running back, looking to throw, goes downfield, caught by Jeremiah Lee, who violently makes his way and spins around and pushes forward. Does just about everything in the book to make his way past the 40 to the 39. Gains about 5 yards. A good look by Jeremiah Lee, who last year had 36 catches for 557 yards, 6 touchdowns. A very electric player, also kick returner for the Greyhounds. Averaged 25 yards per return last season. One of the fastest players on the field as well. They'll get a break, though, as the new platoon comes in for Indianapolis at receiver. Kevin McNeil's the tight end in motion. 2nd down and 5, and flags fly. A false start. This will move the Greyhounds back. They gain 5 yards on 1st down. They're going to lose 5 yards to start 2nd down.
False start, 72 offense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Second down and 10 upon us from the 44-yard line. Jaquan Buchanan, the running back in for Indianapolis, out of the shotgun formation. Bentley, the tall receiver at the bottom of your screen. Quarterback keeper after he fakes the handoff, and Kinnett lowers his shoulder. You don't like seeing the contact against your quarterback, but he does a great job nevertheless of gaining 9 yards. He loses his helmet though. This is big. He has to head to the sideline for a play. The Greyhounds will have to bring in someone else at backup quarterback because of that. He has to sit out one play, so he's healthy. He just has to sit out by rule. And now we're going to see Christian Conkling into the game for the first time for Indianapolis. The senior quarterback from Anderson, Indiana, went to Pendleton Heights, and he'll just take probably one handoff to Toriano Clinton and call it a day. 3rd down and 1 from the 35. A big play ahead of Conkling, seeing his first snap of the season. Toriano easily gets it and runs forward to move the chains. And that, hopefully for the Greyhounds, will end Conkling's run at quarterback, and Kinnett heads back onto the field. Again, if you lose your helmet on a play, you are forced to head to the sideline for at least one play to reset. The expense he took after that big hit running for 9 yards on 2nd down to set up the 3rd and short. That Clinton easily moved the chains and sets up 1st down and 10 from the 32. Kinnett out of the gun. Buchanan picks up the block. He's going to step forward in the pocket. He's going to be brought down for a sack, and the defense gets home. How about Peyton Campbell to get in the defensive backfield and do a great job bringing down Connor Kinnett.
Jason Barker and Jaleel
Also going to give Jaleel Holloway credit for that sack. It was about 3 separate Cougars that got into the backfield and forced that sack. It's the first sack the Greyhounds have allowed early in this season. 2nd down and 14 from the 36 now. 2 receivers split out to the far side. McNeilis, the tight end in motion. We've seen that quite a bit today, and we'll see it through the rest of the season. Kinnett looking to throw, rolls out quickly, has room in front of him. He's going to take it himself. He pushes forward and gains about 7 or 8 yards, gets 2 yards past the original line of scrimmage, and will set up 3rd down and medium.
Once again, short of the 1st down.
A 2nd and 14 turns into a 39 from the 31-yard line.
Correction, number 22 is Joey Markosovic.
In on the tackle was Joey Markosovic, the junior from New Lenox, Illinois. Had 80 tackles last year. Back-to-back first-team all-conference for this team. Flags fly, looks to be false start, although the pass goes downfield to Frank Bentley. That's a touchdown. We're waiting for the flag. This very well could be a score for Indianapolis. Was it an offsides by the defense and a free play? Is that why Indianapolis was able to get this one across?
Offside, 33.
It sure is. The Greyhounds score their 3rd touchdown of the day. It's the first one through the hands of Frank Bentley. Had 2 touchdowns last year, picks up this one today, and puts 6 more up on the board for Indianapolis. That increases their lead to 20-0. Of course, Indianapolis won this matchup last year 34-10, and they got to be very comfortable with the way that they have started this game. Colin Seymour attempts to put his 3rd PAT in this early season. Of course, after the Greyhounds kicker from last year, Paul Boozman, moves on. Seymour comes in to fill his shoes and does so pretty admirably through 3 attempts. 3 for 3 from PATs, including that one to put the score at 21-0. More action next. You're watching Greyhound football on UINDY TV.
To them, the whole world looks like an opportunity, one to be seized, built upon, and made better for their sport and the people around it. To student athletes, every opportunity is a chance to change what could be and show the world what opportunity can do.
Back here at Key Stadium, as the Greyhounds ready to kick this one away. Scoring their third touchdown here early in the first half. The offense firing on all cylinders, and that time it was Frank Bentley who was streaked down his way down the sideline on the free play, scoring his first touchdown of the year. Colin Seymour, the freshman kicker, ready to get this kickoff underway. And he does so via his right leg, as it now will be picked up around the 8-yard line. Switching field position of the Cougars, but nothing there. How about this return team for Indianapolis? Logan Caney making the tackle. Kyle Quinn had the return, but nothing there, as now this Cougars offense, who have struggled so far today, may be facing their tallest task, starting near their own 10.
Sideline warning, St. Xavier, sideline warning.
A sideline warning against St. Xavier and head coach Mike Feminis. So now we'll see what the offense can do. First down and 10 from the 13-yard line. The last drive ending unsuccessful for St. Xavier's. They had to end it in a punt. Here's a first down and 10. The offense near their own end zone. This is a big one. The ball rolls through the back of the end zone. Safety up in the air. Add 2 points to the board, and the Greyhounds will get the ball. That is the worst possible thing that you could imagine for this offense on the first play of the drive, backed up near their own end zone. And the ball simply rolls past the quarterback, between the running back and out of the back of the end zone. The Greyhounds get a free 2 points, and we'll see the offense after this next kick. But before that, we will step aside momentarily. You're watching Greyhound football on UINDY TV.
To them, the whole world looks like an opportunity, one to be seized, built upon, and made better for their sport and the people around it. To student athletes, every opportunity is a chance to change what could be and show the world what opportunity can do.
Hey, Greyhound fans, are you looking for some unbelievable fuel after the game?
Back at Key Stadium, the Greyhounds, after the safety, have a 23-0 lead. Things going all in their favor. And now things could get even better for this offense. We're going to see a bit of a different setup here on the kickoff. Peyton Bennis ready to kick this one away. Not after St. Xavier scored, but he's forced to come out after the Greyhounds scored the safety. So the ball standing on their own 20 rather than what we would typically see at the 35. Makes things pretty favorable for the return team. Bennis with a lot of green in front of him. Kicks this one away. It's actually a nice end-over-end kick. Gonna drop around the 30-yard line. Picked up by Jeremiah Lee. Switches field position. Cuts back upfield. Lowers his shoulder and gets near midfield. He'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. And now this offense with just half a field in front of them, after they found all the success they want following that opening drive mishap, but everything else has been all Greyhounds, and we'll see if they can continue that here with an easy setup at the 48.
Greyhounds will have the football first and 10 from their own 48-yard line.
First down and 10 from the 48. Greyhounds finding a lot of success, including that Frank Bentley touchdown on the previous play. Here's a fake handoff. Kinnett looks to throw. He's done so well today. Stays in the pocket, throws down to Frank Bentley, who makes the catch. And that's the advantage of being 6'3" like Frank Bentley is, as he gets to just reach up and pluck the ball over the defender. It was a poor throw, but it did not matter as Bentley makes up for the quarterback's mishap and moves the chains.
Number 22, Joey Markosovic.
And for this Greyhounds offense, you're not going to see just one receiver hogging all the targets, all the receptions, all the touchdowns. They can really spread the ball around. Bentley just moved the chains with the big play. He's now on the sideline because of how deep they are at receiver. Connor Kinnett with a first down and 10 from the 26-yard line. Just the second play of the drive, and it goes to Toriano Clinton, who splits the defenders. Is tackled by his shoestrings, though. Inside the 25 to the 23-yard line. Making the tackle was Finn Brandon for St. Xavier, who had 37 tackles last season. Started just one game, but played in 10, so he's a new addition to the starting lineups here. The junior from Dixon, Illinois. Second down and 7, 23-yard line, shotgun formation. Kinnett looks to throw. Stands still in the pocket, rockets this to the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Greyhounds! Jeremiah Lee picks up touchdown pass number 3 from Connor Kinnett. The fight song plays at Key Stadium as Indianapolis increases their lead to 29, trying to make it 30 here in front of a home crowd. And boy, what a showing on offense. 29 first half points, and we still have 10 minutes to go in this half. This could get ugly. Colin Seymour to kick his 4th PAT attempt. First 3 were successful. The 4th one through the uprights as well, 30 points. The advantage for Indianapolis as we step aside and return momentarily on UINDY TV.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30, touchdown. An incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
Back at Key Stadium as you see the star-studded group for Indianapolis. Say finding a lot of success. That in front of you is the quarterback Connor Kinnett, who just threw for his 3rd touchdown pass in his opening appearance for Indianapolis. He did play in 4 games last year, but just in relief duty after big blowouts. It's the first time he's been able to come in and start this game, and boy, is he having an impressive day. And a lot of weight off his shoulders when you've got a guy like Toriano Clinton who's sitting just 3 players down that bench that we just saw. Clinton has had a great day, over 100 yards on the ground. He's got plenty of great receivers that can come in and make all the plays for him. It's been an easy day for Connor Kinnett. At least he's making it look easy. Here's this kickoff all the way to the goal line. Going to be picked up by Kyle Quinn, who for St. Xavier is going to change field position. Make this Pringle. Pringle with some room in front of him. Only 3 players to beat. Gets past 2 of them before he's brought out of bounds at midfield, near the 50-yard line. We saw Kyle Quinn take most of the opening kickoffs of this game, and then finally Justin Pringle gets his hands on a ball, and he shows how electric he can be. First team all Mid-State Conference. He does a great job getting all the way to midfield.
Scoring drive for UIndy, 7 plays covering 55 yards, 3 minutes, 54 seconds.
So after the 7-play, 55-yard touchdown drive for Indianapolis, we're going to see this offense of St. Xavier come down onto the field. Their last drive lasted a play. It was a ball through the back of the end zone. Here's a handoff off the end around. Pringle, who just had the kickoff return, switches field position. A lot of black jerseys in front of him. Now he's got blockers to the far side, and he just gets the first down and steps out of bounds. Being chased on that play by Indianapolis is Justin Thomas, but not before he's able to move the chains.
For another pickup of good yardage, 1st and 10 coming up for the Cougars.
Pretty successful start to this drive, I'd say, for St. Xavier, who have been asking for that for quite a while, really struggling the last few drives. They'll have a first down and 10 on the Greyhound side of the 44-yard line. Ross looks to throw, launches it down the field, intercepted. The Greyhounds get the pick, and now they're running the other way. Brought down on the ground, but not after he picked up that interception. Greyon Eddings, in his first game this season with Indianapolis, did play 11 games last year, but in relief duty, not one of the regular starters. He gets his first INT of his career, just a sophomore. And suddenly, when it looked like this offense could have something to it, the interception comes. That's the second one today that Stuart Ross has thrown, and brings in the Greyhound offense now with even better field position. Their last drive lasted 7 plays. I'd wager this one's going to be even shorter than that, starting at the 42-yard line. Toriano Clinton, the running back, out of the pistol. Connor Connett sees 2 receivers to his left and 1 to the right. The tight end, Ethan Hand, into block. Man in motion is Towns. Handoff goes to Clinton, who bounces off 1 tackler and then is brought out of bounds, but not after. He gains 5 on the play. Making that tackle was Joey Markosovic. So now we'll see second down and medium from the 37-yard line.
5 yards on the Clinton carry.
The Greyhounds looking to add to this huge lead. Already have 30 points. And St. Xavier, they're put in a tough spot. They play in the NAIA, pretty successful team in that regard. But when they play a team like Indianapolis, who's one of the top teams in Division II, it can make things tricky. Here's the handoff, this time by Kellen Porter, who puts a big stiff arm. How about that stiff arm by the man who had the previous tackle? That time he gets almost embarrassed on the play. Joey Markosovic. That'll move the chains for Indianapolis.
Down, tackled on the play by number 27, that's Ben Brandon.
Greyhounds move the chains, set up first down and 10 inside the 30 at the 29-yard line. Connett still standing in at the shotgun formation. Jaquan Buchanan, his running back, the 4th running back in the game for Indianapolis. 3-step drop, looks to throw, quick slant over the middle of the field, picked up by Jeremiah Lee, who races his way to the boundary. Brought down when he gets near the first down line, but he cannot quite get there, so that'll set up second down and very short.
Brought down on the play by number 29.
In on the tackle was Kevin Countryman, had 24 tackles last season, 2 of them for a loss. Just 1 tackle in the game against Indianapolis last year.
Into the Ray Skillman red zone.
Second down and 1. Running formation, offsides. Here's a free play, looking to the end zone and through the hands of Alonzo Derrick, who takes a big hit following that, but it'll be an incomplete pass. It looked to me like we had an offsides. No flags fly. Must have just been a great jump by the defensive line for St. Xavier. No, rather they do call the offsides.
5-yard penalty results in a first down.
That's the definition of a free play. He threw it to the end zone. Even if it was intercepted, still could have just accepted the penalty and moved the ball forward 5, which is what they'll do here. First down and 15. Townsend Gillum into the game at receiver for Indianapolis. Logan Caney and Ethan Hand head to the sideline. Caney's seen some of his first action in at offense. 2 receivers in the backfield, one of which the speedy Gillum. They're going to look to throw his way, rather handoff to the far side. And how about that hit by the defense, who gets up and maybe celebrates a little bit as Jaquan Buchanan stopped for a loss. In on the tackle was Jabari Anderson, the defensive end. Really a slimmer D-end, 6'2", taller guy, the junior. Makes a great play to limit that first down yardage. Second down and 9 in front of us at the 14-yard line. Buchanan stays in at running back. Ransom, the lone receiver, on the near side. Looking to throw, 3-step drop. Connett with the catch made by Lee, and he is dropped for a big hit. He'll lose his helmet. Might have gone back to that original line of scrimmage, but how about the tackle by St. Xavier and Joey Markosovic. Talked about it. He's one of this defense's best players. Back-to-back first-team all-conference. And he's been playing lights out today. Makes a big open field tackle there on the speedster. That'll set up 3rd down and 10 after the loss of a yard. Ball's at the 15-yard line. St. Xavier playing in the Mid-States Football Association Midwest Division. Has the timeouts called by the quarterback, Connor Kinnett. And with that, we will step aside for a timeout as well. Back next on UINDY TV.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela spurs it. An incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
Back at Key Stadium following the timeout by the Greyhounds, the first timeout of the game. It's made it go by pretty quick. Still 6 minutes to go in quarter number 2, but it's Connor Kinnett out of the shotgun. Toriano Clinton is running back. The extra blocker is Ethan Hand. He goes in motion now. 3rd down and 10, a big play here. Looking to throw. Kinnett scrambles around the pocket. He'll step up and is brought down for a sack. And a big time for it, a 3rd down sack. Will make things a lot harder for this offense. Dropping him back at the 25. Peyton Nigro gets the tackle. Now the Greyhounds going to try for this kick. It's a good no-pressure situation for Colin Seymour, attempting the first kick of his young college career. It'll be a 41-yard attempt. Colin Seymour, his first attempt at kicker, and it doinks off the left upright. It looked good until it didn't, and that'll be a turnover on downs. We'll see the offense of the Cougars out here next. You're watching Greyhound football on UINDY TV.
And St. Xavier will take over possession.
First down and 10 from the 24. Here's this offense, a bunch formation, bit of a run set. Quick toss out to the running back, and that's swallowed up right away as the muscles fly for Indianapolis's defense. What a play in the open field. The Greyhounds' Brandon Smith getting in for the tackle for loss on first down. In the open field for St. Xavier with that catch, but really nothing there. Not a lot of success from Mario Price, the running back. 2nd down and long. It's 14 yards to go from the 20-yard line. A quick slant goes to Price, who makes the catch, stumbles his way for a gain of about 2. Give him about 3 yards on that play, and that'll set up 3rd down and long. Hurry up as this offense trying to find some semblance of offense going here into halftime. 3rd down and 11. Trips formation on the near side for the offense. 3rd down and long, looking to air this ball out, I'm sure. Sure enough, Ross, quick throw. It's caught on the outside by the big receiver and Brant Hickston, but he can't find anything there. Gains about 6 or 7 yards, but still well shy of the line to gain, which is the 34-yard line. He's 3 yards shy, and that'll set up 4th down and 3. And the punt team comes out. Another unsuccessful drive, a 3 and out for the offense. In the punt now is a different punter. Like I said, we've seen a few different punters in today. Here's Matthew Chavers the third. Gets a high kick. Not quite what you would hope for, except it does get the nice bounce as it goes in St. Xavier's way all the way to the 30-yard line. That's where the Greyhounds offense will start. Call it the 29. As now Connor Kinnett, having himself one heck of a day, comes out onto the field. For Kinnett, he's 9 of 13 to this point, 122 yards, and most impressively, 3 touchdowns. Indianapolis out of the pistol. Man in motion is Lee. Handoff goes right side to Clinton, who has plenty of room, and he gains the first down. A 13-yard rush on first down gets him past the 40 to the 42. And man, what a day has Toriano Clinton had in limited carries. Trying to limit his workload, not wear him out too much. 9 attempts, 126 yards, and a touchdown. As you see, he now heads to the sideline for a breather. 1st and 10 from the 42. Trips receivers. The passing look for Indianapolis. Running back is Schlabach. The pass goes to Derek, who now can show off his electricity. There's a flag that flies all the way from the back, Judge, but that's not after Derek gets the first down. We'll wait for the call. The gain will be 11, but we wait to see what this laundry's about. You see a meeting between the two referees. Trying to get to the bottom of this flag that was thrown in all the way from the far back, Judge. A nice throw by him, maybe get him suited up in white. There's a holding by the offense, though. So negate the 11-yard reception, moving back 10. That'll set up 1st down and 20. They'll put the ball. The 1st and 10, rather, at the 42, so seems like the holding might have been downfield. 10 yards from the spot, 1st and 10 from the 42. Some neutral zone action, flags fly, free play, another offsides. Derek wasn't looking, out of bounds, incomplete. Kinnett likes to take advantage of these free plays. He sees the offsides, and he's doing a great job making the deep throw. There, obviously nothing harmed as he's not able to connect, but doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things as they'll gain a free 5 yards and get a 1st down.
First down.
From the 47, it's a 1st down and 5 now for Indianapolis. The waning moments of the 2nd quarter, the Greyhounds don't need to score, but they're trying to do so here heading into the locker room. Bit of a bunch formation. Kinnett rolling out, quick throw. That's caught by John Einman, who races his way to the boundary past the 40-yard line of the Cougars to the 38. A great play on 1st and 5. Nick Schultz gets the tackles. He forces Einman out of bounds. Toriano Clinton, the running back for Indianapolis. It's a 1st down and 10 at 38-yard line. 2 running backs now in for the Greyhounds, one of which is Jeremiah Lee, who gets out of the backfield as flags fly. Play is whistled dead. Got to imagine it's going to be against the offense. Sure enough, a false start. That was against the Greyhounds' right guard, Zachary Clark, the redshirt junior from Columbus East High School. About a half hour here from the University of Indianapolis. He started every game at right guard the previous 2 seasons, and there with an early season false start. Usually see quite a bit of penalties here to open up the season from each team, and trends continue today. 1st down and 15 from the 43. Every Greyhound looks to the sideline to figure out the play. Still 10 seconds on the play clock. First down and 15. Clinton bounces it outside and is pulled down from his shoes again. A few of those shoestring tackles for this defense, and boy, they'll take what they can get because it doesn't take much for Clinton to bust one big, but Ron Carroll does a nice job, the junior from University Park, Illinois, to make the tackle. And the thing about this Greyhounds offense, they've got 4 running backs they like. I've told you about all the receivers that they have confidence in. We've seen a lot of platoon swaps for them. Also a couple tight ends they rotate through. Everyone's always fresh when they're out here on the field. Here it's 2nd down and 10 from the 38. Kinnett takes a few steps back, looks to throw, launches it down the field, and it's over the head of Gillum, the freshman receiver, trying to get his first catch. Unsuccessful. 3rd down and 10. Make sure to stick around here because as these final 57 seconds tick off, Grayson Holt's going to have head coach Chris Keevers of the Greyhounds for a quick interview heading into the locker room. So stick around for that, and our wonderful sideline reporter, Grayson Holt. Here's 3rd down and 10 from the 38. Kinnett's the quarterback, 4 receivers set, 3 to the near side, looking to throw. He's got pressure in his face, has to step up in the pocket, has time now, and he launches it for a completion and a first down, but a thunderous hit. It'll move the chains nevertheless, as Gillum gets his first collegiate reception. In on the tackle for St. Xavier was Tyler Barnett. A big hit for Barnett, who had 42 tackles last season, a pretty physical safety. But now the Greyhounds going to hurry this one up. Just 40 seconds to go. Handoff goes to Clinton, and he finds nothing. Sandwiched down behind his own offensive lineman, and Alexis, he might have gained a yard. So now a timeout's going to be called by the Greyhounds. And try to see if they can get a score here late in this half. And with that, we're going to step aside as well. More action next. You're watching Greyhound football on UINDY TV. Back at Key Stadium, the Greyhounds with a big 30-0 lead. As now they're looking to add to that. Just 35 seconds to go in the opening half here. Pretty successful opening half for Indianapolis. 1, considering, of course, they've scored 30 points, but 2, that it has not rained yet. It rained through most of the morning and afternoon here on the south side of Indianapolis, and luckily for all of us, the rain has subsided, at least for now. Here's 2nd down and 9 from the 24. 3-step drop from Kinnett, throws it towards the end zone, incomplete. About 3 steps in front of his wide receiver, Jeremiah Lee. And that will set up a 3rd down. Only 5 seconds elapsed off the clock, though. So Kinnett's still with an opportunity here on 3rd down and long. Lee Derrick, Stephen Towns, and Kamau Ransom going to be the 4 receivers in a spread formation for Indianapolis. 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, Buchanan gets the fake handoff, throw to the near side with Derrick, who's brought down. And then a foot comes up to hit him in the face, and now the flag flies. We'll wait and see. It looks like it could have been a face mask, and now the player's a bit chippy as Derrick not happy with the end of that play. Nevertheless, the clock stops at 23 seconds, and now the flag could allow for an automatic first down for Indianapolis. We'll wait and see what the call is. It looked to me like it was going to be against the defense. We'll hear from the head referee here in just a few moments. The offense set up like they're going to go for it as soon as this ball is set. It's a face mask against the defense. Give them half the distance to the goal, so the 24 turns into the 12. It's a fresh set of downs, and now the Greyhounds enter the red zone and see if they can put up some points here with just 23 seconds to go. Ahead by 30. 3 receivers to the far side, 1 receiver to the near side. Looks to throw his Connect, a clean pocket to the end zone, caught by Ransom, gets his second touchdown of the day. A touchdown strike from Connor Connect to Kamau Ransom. And how about that, the first game for the freshman. The starting receiver rose his way up the ranks over training camp, and now he's showing how special he can be from Evanston, Illinois. Ransom receives all the praise as now the PAT unit comes out on the field for Indianapolis. Colin Seymour, fresh off a missed kick. We'll see if he can continue a streak of perfect PATs. He does just that as now the score rises 37-0. We'll see a ceremonial kickoff on the other end of this break. You're watching Greyhound.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it. It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
To the commanding first half lead. They'll kick this ball off, and we might see a kneel down from the offense to elapse the final 14 seconds off the clock. But again, we're going to have Coach Keevers on camera with Grayson Holt here in just a few moments at the end of this half. How about the day that Connor Connect is having his fourth passing touchdown of the afternoon? He has almost 200 yards passing, and guess what? He's not a veteran quarterback. This is his first start as a sophomore. Last year was 4 for 4 passing for 21 yards in the 4 games he did see action in. This is the first time he's seen anything substantial, and you see that right arm there on camera is what's really carried his day today. Doing a great job navigating the pocket. Doing a great job making those great throws. Here's a squib kick, trying to elapse some more time off the clock. It only takes 2 off, but now the offense set up at the 43-yard line. And now for St. Xavier, you can try to go for a big shot, but at risk of the defense taking one back, or you can just put the right knee of your quarterback, Stuart Ross, on the ground. We'll see what they decide here.
First and 10 with 12 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
The offense comes out on the field for a play. The running back is the heavier Matt Shavers III. He comes in when they need some short yardage rushes or to block. We'll see if that's the case. However, the whistle blows. Looks like a timeout was called, but unsure of who.
Timeout, Indianapolis.
Indianapolis calls the timeout. Didn't like what their defense looked matched up against that Cougars offense. And with that, we're going to step aside as well. Return momentarily on UINDY TV. First down and 10 for the offense. Following that timeout by the defense, the Cougars coming out for one final play of the half. 3 receivers to the far side of your screen, near the top of it. The quarterback stands in the shotgun formation. Matthew Shavers III, the running back. Snaps. Looks to throw, has time, near side, almost slipped, but he does get the reception, shakes and bakes for a first down, gets out of bounds with 5 seconds to go. And now you got to feel a lot better if you're the offense here. After Brant Hickson makes the catch and run to move the chains and stop the clock.
That's good for a Cougar first down in UINDY territory. First and 10 from the Hounds, 41-yard line.
They'll let one more second go off the clock, so there's 4 seconds to go here. And what I would wager is the final play of this half. Out of the gun. Pressure comes, stepping up in the pocket, needing to make the deep throw. He goes to the end zone, a Hail Mary style play. Intercepted by the defense. And that'll be a touchback, but does not matter as the clock rolls to 0. Making the nice interception for Indianapolis was Corey Crawford. And with that, we've got Grayson Holt waiting down on the sideline as head coach Chris Keever celebrates this team and is now going to make his way over to our ground camera. And as we wait for him, how about that first half from Indianapolis? 37 points with a new quarterback. He threw 4 touchdowns. That's Connor Kinnett. Was 14 of 20 through the air. He's only sacked once. This line holding up very well. And with that, we're going to go down to the sideline with Grayson.
Hi, I'm here with head coach Chris Keevers today, and we're in the lead 0-30, so I think that we're doing pretty good. My first question for you, Chris Keevers, both the offense and defense look to really be clicking in this first half. What about your team has impressed you the most tonight?
Well, we wanted a fast start. We talked about it all week, and we've got a fast start, and that's what we wanted, so pretty happy about that.
Sounds absolutely perfect. Now, my favorite question is, what is your locker room message going to be here in just a second in order to keep the momentum and the victory?
Got to keep playing. Got to keep playing one play at a time. Focus, focus, focus. We'll be all right.
That is perfect. Thank you so much. This is head coach Chris Keevers. I'm Grayson Holt. We're going to break here on UINDY TV.
Well, it's so many memories, I would say. I think the things that when my teammates and I get together, what we enjoy the most, I think, are just all the stories, all the things that happen between us playing against some of the best schools. You know, we played some Division I schools. We beat Eastern Illinois twice. A thrill for a Division II school to go in and to beat a Division I school. And I think we remember, you know, feeling like kind of the David versus Goliath. And that's what I think we realized, if you can come together as a group, you know, that you can have success. Well, I think any competitive person, it's tough. But I still look at it today, you know, it's been 30 years since I played competitive basketball, and in the business world and the education world, you lose, and things happen, and you go back to your playing days, and you got knocked down and you got to get back up. So that was kind of our mantra. I think to have dreams. I just, as a little kid, I had dreams that I wanted to do something athletically, you know, and basketball was my passion. And so I don't care what it is, do something that you like, that you're passionate about. That to me is the most important thing, and then work to achieve it. And if you work hard enough at it, I think your dreams can come true, even when people tell you it'll never happen. And that to me was kind of the David versus Goliath thing. Yeah, and it's a cliche, but I do think life is a game. Life is a competition. And I think I was prepared because I competed in college, and I say the same thing to people. You kind of those same attributes. You have to work hard, you have to practice what you want to do, and you have to believe in yourself, and you have to have those dreams, and you put that package together, and I think it's a pretty good package for success. Hi, I'm Larry Tucker. I'm a former NCAA student athlete from Lewis University.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools, for nearly 500,000 student athletes, college sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
To them, the whole world looks like an opportunity, one to be seized, built upon, and made better for their sport and the people around it. To student athletes, every opportunity is a chance to change what could be and show the world what opportunity can do.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30, touchdown. Michaela burns it. An incredible finish by Holmes.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
I pledge.
I pledge.
I pledge. I pledge.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves. our vision, our heart, our drive to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor.
It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
From court to court and lane to lane, under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub, with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
I am an NCAA student athlete, and I pledge to be a champion of unity on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to stand against all forces of division and separation. I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination. I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity. I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt. I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy. I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all. I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United.
life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
I am an NCAA student athlete, and I pledge to be a champion of unity on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to stand against all forces of division and separation. I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination. I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity. I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt. I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy. I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all. I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United.
Well, it's so many memories, I would say. I think the things that when my teammates and I get together, what we enjoy the most, I think, are just all the stories, all the things that happen between us playing against some of the best schools. You know, we played some Division I schools. We beat Eastern Illinois twice. A thrill for a Division II school to go in and to beat a Division I school. And I think we remember, you know, feeling like kind of the David versus Goliath. And that's what I think we realized, if you can come together as a group, you know, that you can have success. Well, I think any competitive person, it's tough. But I still look at it today. You know, it's been 30 years since I played competitive basketball, and in the business world and the education world, you lose, and things happen, and you go back to your playing days, and you got knocked down, and you got to get back up. So that was kind of our mantra. I think to have dreams. As a little kid, I had dreams that I wanted to do something athletically, you know, and basketball was my passion. And so I don't care what it is, do something that you like, that you're passionate about. That to me is the most important thing, and then work to achieve it. And if you work hard enough at it, I think your dreams can come true, even when people tell you it'll never happen. And that to me was kind of the David versus Goliath thing. Yeah, and it's a cliche, but I do think life is a game. Life is a competition. And I think I was prepared because I competed in college, and I say the same thing to people. You kind of those same attributes. You have to work hard, you have to practice what you want to do, and you have to believe in yourself, and you have to have those dreams, and you put that package together, and I think it's a pretty good package for success. Hi, I'm Larry Tucker. I'm a former NCAA student athlete from Lewis University. Well, it's so many memories, I would say. I think the things that when my teammates and I get together, what we enjoy the most, I think, are just all the stories, all the things that happened between us playing against some of the best schools. You know, we played some Division I schools. We beat Eastern Illinois twice. A thrill for a Division II school to go in and to beat a Division I school. And I think we remember, you know, feeling like kind of the David versus Goliath. And that's what I think we realized, if you can come together as a group, you know, that you can have success. Well, I think any competitive person, it's tough. But I still look at it today. You know, it's been 30 years since I played competitive basketball, and in the business world and the education world, you lose, and things happen, and you go back to your playing days, and you got knocked down, and you got to get back up. So that was kind of our mantra. I think to have dreams. As a little kid, I had dreams that I wanted to do something athletically, you know, and basketball was my passion. And so I don't care what it is, do something that you like, that you're passionate about. That to me is the most important thing, and then work to achieve it. And if you work hard enough at it, I think your dreams can come true, even when people tell you it'll never happen. And that to me was kind of the David versus Goliath thing. Yeah, and it's a cliche, but I do think life is a game. Life is a competition. And I think I was prepared because I competed in college, and I say the same thing to people. You kind of those same attributes. You have to work hard, you have to practice what you want to do, and you have to believe in yourself, and you have to have those dreams, and you put that package together, and I think it's a pretty good package for success. Hi, I'm Larry Tucker. I'm a former NCAA student athlete from Lewis University.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools, for nearly 500,000 student athletes, college sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
To them, the whole world looks like an opportunity, one to be seized, built upon, and made better for their sport and the people around it. To student athletes, every opportunity is a chance to change what could be and show the world what opportunity can do.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby. Inside the 30, touchdown. Michaela Burgess. An incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
Being a champion takes more than skill. More than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
I pledge.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit,
and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25.
Indianapolis, about 30 seconds into play, as we've got a 2nd down and 10 after Benjamin Honey has made the 1st down stop. So now for St. Xavier, we've got Stuart Ross in this offense trying to find something to do here after a very unsuccessful first quarter. That pass is batted incomplete. Rolling on the ground as the Greyhounds defense makes another great stop. I'm Nathaniel Finch here with Caden Colford. And Caden, what did you see on that play?
On that play, the UINDY defense was definitely in their face, and it was really, fun to watch.
Credit the tip to number 96. That's Jacob Jones for the Hounds. Fans, it's 3rd down.
Now we've got a 3rd down and 10. 2 straight unsuccessful plays for the offense. We saw that quite a bit in a scoreless first quarter. So you can see the Greyhounds with a big 37-0 lead. Trips receivers to the near side of the screen. As right now Ross is in trouble, has to tuck it and run, but Xavier makes the open field tackle. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage and bring the punt team out. Caden, this defense for the Greyhounds has looked so good today, and they continue it there.
These guys are ball hawks. Every time the passes are completed, 5 or 6 guys are all on the ball at the same time, and that's what you want to see in a defense like this.
Fourth down, here's the punt team. Looks like the running back and part-time punter Matt Chavers III out to punt this one away as he sends a nice line drive kick that goes over the head of Alonzo Derrick. Best case scenario, I'd say, for this punt team as Alonzo Derrick picks it up and is met at the 35-yard line by 3 different Cougars, and that'll set up the Greyhounds offense on their own 35. Not a bad punt that time, and it can be pretty risky, Caden, when you're punting near your own goal line, and he was able to get the punt off and actually made it a pretty successful turnaround.
And it's been interesting seeing them cycle punters like they have this game, and that when they cycle punters like that, it's hard to get a read as a returner where you need to play at.
Yeah, and there it worked there. We saw more of a line drive. The last couple have been higher, shorter punts, so it seems to work out in their favors. Derrick was not able to get in position, but nevertheless, the Greyhounds drive will start at the 35 on their own side of the field. Connor Kinnett claps his hands in the shotgun formation. Kevin McNeil is the tight end in motion. Handoff goes to the running back, and he is popped for a loss of about 3 yards. What a play by the defender, Ron Carroll, off the carry by Jaden Schlabach. So that'll set up 2nd down and long after the loss of 4. Let's say we've got 2nd down and 14. Check that, the offense on the field for a 2nd and 13. Out of the shotgun formation is Kinnett. Jaquan Buchanan, the running back, and part-time receiver in the backfield to his left. 4 receiver set. Don't see this quite as often for the Greyhounds. They like their tight ends, but here in a passing situation. Hands the ball off nevertheless to Buchanan, who steps forward for a few yards, but nothing really much there. He gets back near the original line of scrimmage, sets up 3rd down and 10. Caden, what do you think we're going to see here now? It's a 3rd down and 10, a little bit out of that comfortable running range.
In this situation, I think you can definitely trust your line to give the QB some time. And I think the wide receivers are skilled, they're fast, and they're quick. They're going to get open. And with the time that he has, he's going to make the right read, he's going to make the right throw.
I've counted at least 8 or 9 different receivers on the field today for the Greyhounds. They love these guys at wide out, and we'll see if they can make a difference here on 3rd down and 9. Ball's on the 36-yard line for Indianapolis. As Toriano Clinton shifts over to the right side of the shotgun formation. Connor Kinnett, 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Steps up in the pocket, pumps, now throws it over the middle of the field. He's got John Einman just out of his reach. Einman was making Chase look like a good throw, just out of his reach, though. And that will bring out the punt team for Indianapolis.
Just the first time today that we've seen this punt team come out on the field with Ryan Zoller, the freshman punter for the Greyhounds. In high school was a Ray Guy All-American. Also played middle linebacker, so he's got that physicality and that size to him. His father played soccer at Bellarmine University. Here is Ryan Zeller, the punter.
Number 6, that's Justin Pringle.
The punt goes off the foot, and the punter's hit. Zoller shanks it out of bounds, but there will be a flag on the play, and this one's probably going to go against the punt defense, the return team. Well, waiting to see what the official call is, but Caden, you got to imagine the Hounds offense going to have a chance here. Seen quite a bit of flags this game. It's pretty typical for a first game of the season. Trying to get some of the kinks worked out.
5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
So they're going to call, instead of a roughing the kicker, it's just a running into the kicker, which is a 5-yard penalty, which means everyone's going to have to go out there again because it's going to be 4th down and 4, and they're going to punt this ball away again. And now, Caden, you got to imagine we're going to have some better blocking schemes up front, not to let the punt team, the punt return team, get as deep into the backfield.
I think UINDY is definitely thankful for the second chance, for the first punt wasn't as well as they would like it to be.
It's 4th down and 4. The punt team returns to the field with Ryan Zoller. Still waiting to get things officially set up as the officials give us word. Justin Pringle, the return man, back and ready to go. The senior from Romeoville, Illinois, home of the Lewis Flyers in the GLVC, but he's playing obviously for the team in Chicago with St. Xavier. Second team all-conference last season. Here's a 4th down and 4 from the 41. Indianapolis with an unsuccessful drive to start the half, similar to the way they started the game. Goes off the right foot of Zoller. A nice high punt. Pretty good start to his career as a Greyhound. No down. St. Xavier at the 20-yard line. That's we're going to see a 1st and 10 situation for the offense. And now we've seen nothing, literally nothing from this offense so far today. What do you think St. Xavier needs to do to get going here on the offensive side of the ball?
I think that St. Xavier should really push with the run game. While the front line for UINDY has been great, the secondary has been even better. He's been in their face over and over and over and locking up receivers down the field. So I think you need to push it straight through the middle, right up the gut.
They really just need to find a way to take the pressure off of Ross because he's not really thrived under pressure. So I think the run game is a great idea to do that. The running back right now is Chavers the third. Not going to be used on this play, though. It's a quick slant over the middle of the field. Caught for a gain of about 5 yards by the big man and Brant Hickston. That'll set up a 2nd down at about 5 yards.
Number 22, that's Michael Brown for the Hounds.
Spread formation, that means 2 receivers to each side of the line for the quarterback here in Stuart Ross. Man of motions, Chavers. Flags fly. So we see a lot of movement in the neutral zone. Plays called dead. That'll be a false start against the offense. The center, Matt Olson, moved a little too soon. Going to have to move them back 5 yards and set up 2nd down and 9. So you had the nice play on 1st down to set up yourself with a 2nd short, but a penalty kills that situation, similar to what we've seen quite a bit today. Now out of the gun, so that similar spread formation with 2 receivers to each side. Man of motion's the running back, Chavers. Quick screen, wide receiver to the far side. That's Pringle, who's brought down right away. He might have got back to the line of scrimmage. They'll say he lost a yard or 2 as he is sent to the ground. Quite a few Greyhounds, namely Benjamin Hunias and Kiave Guerriere, leading the charge to make the play. Both of those 2 linebackers, some of the best players on this defense for Indianapolis. Here's the 3rd down and 10 from the 20-yard line. Adversity early in this drive, looking to throw. A lot of pressure in the face of Ross. He flushes out of the pocket, throws it sidearmed. Incomplete pass, bringing out the punt team again. We've seen so many 3-and-outs this drive, Caden, and it continues here. The Greyhounds defense just stifling anything the offense can show.
And on that 3rd down play, that's the pressure that I'm talking about down the field. Those cornerbacks and those safeties are up on their guys and no room to breathe, no room to run.
Back deep to receive once again, Alonzo Derrick.
On a drive that started from a punt, it's going to be a quick 3 and out. They can't even muster a yard. Here's the punt team. Alonzo Derrick back to punt. Yet another punter into the game for St. Xavier's. Derrick gets this catch, and he's trying to do something with it as he shakes and bakes his way to about the 45-yard line.
Return by Alonzo Derrick for the Hounds. UINDY will take
So ultimately didn't end up being too bad of a punt here for St. Xavier, given the circumstances of being backed up near their own end zone. Joe Pulselli, who's the starting punter, actually gets to come in and do his job on this play. Now the Greyhounds back out on offense. It's only a matter of time, you got to imagine, before we see more of Christian Conkling at quarterback. The Greyhounds with a big lead here. No need to stay in the game too much longer if you're Connor Kinnett, and they seem to have that approach at running back as Kellen Porter's into the game, the 4th stringer. Letting Toriano Clinton take a break on the sideline. He's done plenty today. They can't ask too much more from Tori, as now we got a 1st down and 10. 46-yard line on the Greyhounds side of the 50. 3 receiver set as we've got a play action pass batted down at the line of scrimmage for an incomplete. How about for St. Xavier, a great play by Peyton Campbell.
Dan Williams Jr. on the nice defensive play for the Cougars.
And so far, aside from that one big run that Toriano had, this defensive line really holding up pretty well against the Greyhounds. The rushing game, of course, the secondary you can't say as much about, but doing a pretty good job outside of that one play, limiting the rushing offense. I'm sure it's going to be a big focus going into next week, taking some positives out of this game. They do have a pretty big and pretty experienced defensive front. Here's 2nd down and 10, 46-yard line. Following the incomplete pass, here's one completed to Steven Towns, his first reception of the day. He is an all-conference receiver from McKendree, transfers to Indianapolis and gains about 7 yards, gets it to the other side of the 50 and sets up 3rd down and 2. I like to see the explosiveness from Towns. Wouldn't mind seeing him for the majority of the second half, get some experience and show the coaching staff what he can do in this black jersey.
I love how Coach Keevers utilizes his players' quickness through these wide receiver screens and allows them to get to the open field and allows them to get downhill.
Doing a great job at that. Here's 3rd down and 2. Handoff goes to Porter with some open field, lowers his shoulder. Nice stiff arm again, had one earlier. Spins his way forward inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. How about that run by Kellen Porter?
1st down, UINDY.
Pretty impressive one of that. And Porter, he's currently sits 4th on the depth chart for the Greyhounds, but he had a pretty decent year last year, came in especially towards the end of the year when Clinton came out. You see this play as he did a nice job spinning his way forward and stretching across to get that 1st down and more. Here's 1st down and 10 from the 27-yard line, knocking on the door of the red zone again. Here's Connor Kinnett out of the gun. Running back is Porter. He gets the handoff again. He is brought down by his neck by the defensive end. Ibawi Arakoyo makes a nice play.
on the tackle.
It's runs like that that have really set the tone for the Greyhounds in this game. Ever since their first drive, just pushing it little by little has proven their heart and their spirit and how hard they want this, or how much they want these 6 points.
Man, I went from talking about how their run game hasn't found a lot of success out of one play. Now they're finding a lot of success. Here's the pass play. 2nd down and 6. Kinnett on the run, looking to throw. He has to pump fake this one, an incomplete pass. Lasers the way through the hands of Mr. Towns, and he cannot make that play.
And even though that pass ball is incomplete, it is so fun to watch Kinnett move on his feet and get out of the pocket.
3rd down coming up for...
He's doing a good job being mobile. It's not quite what you expect from that big, tall quarterback, but he's doing a good job getting out of the pocket, navigating the pocket exceptionally well, and he looks like a veteran quarterback out here, despite the fact that he's making his first start of his young career. Here's 3rd down and 6 from the 23. Oh, some neutral zone movement. No flags, although the entire offense turned around to look for some. Handoff goes to the left side with Kellen Porter, who moves his way forward, and he got the 1st down. How about that? About 2 feet shy of the line to gain, 2 feet past it, that is. And what a run by Kellen Porter, who's having himself a good run here on this drive. You see here just great vision, a way to cut up field and uses that power to keep his feet churning and move the ball across that line to gain. Now the Greyhounds are in the red zone, trying to increase this 37-0 lead. They scored 34 on this team last season, trying to add to that here early in the third. Shotgun snap, gets the handoff again to Porter, and this time he's brought down pretty immediately by Ayobami Arakoyo, the sophomore, 6'4", big defensive lineman from Schaumburg, Illinois.
He rushes forward. 3-yard pickup on the play.
Jaden Schlabach was the running back in on that play, and he's back into the game here for this next one. Greyhounds doing such a good job, Caden, in rotating through these running backs, keeping everyone fresh. Second down and 7 from the 14. Schlabach, the running back, he gets the handoff, makes his way up the middle, lowers his shoulder, and is brought down after gaining only a yard. A great job by the defensive line on that play. How about this? We've talked about the running backs on this drive. How about the star on the defense? Ayobami Arakoyo making a lot of plays here in the interior. It's finally his time to shine. The Greyhounds going away from the passing game and just putting the ball on the ground.
He's definitely made it a terror trying to go up through the middle. His presence is felt almost every play.
The youngest player on this defensive line, he's a sophomore. Here's third down and 7. Flags fly before the ball crosses the plane, so you got to imagine this is going to be against the offense. Sure enough, it's a false start, moving back 5 yards. Changes the 3rd and 7 to a 3rd and 12, makes it a little bit harder. And that makes the decision easier to go through the air. You got to imagine, see what Connor Connett can do already with 4 touchdowns on the day.
And I don't know about you, but I really see this Connett as a young Aaron Rodgers. The way he filters through his snap counts, and the way he goes through his reads, and the way he moves out of the pocket.
And Caden, the way that he takes advantage of every single one of those free plays. Of course, it wasn't one on that play. The flag was against the offense, but he has played very well early. Rodgers is high praise, but he's played very well. Now moving out of the pocket, showing his speed, launching it to the goal line. Incomplete pass. Just off the hands of Kamal Ransom. And that will set up a 4th down and 12 and the kicking team onto the field. You had a tough situation for Colin Seymour, who had a long kick earlier. It was about a 42-yarder that he missed, doinked it off the left upright. We'll see what he can do here. And if he can shake off that early miss, realize it wasn't quite his fault being set up with a deep one, and see how he can do on this play. From the left hash is a 36-yard field goal, so still another tough one. We'll see what the result is momentarily. 4th down and 12. The kick is up, almost blocked. It's a nice job going through the uprights, and the first career field goal for Colin Seymour. The freshman kicker does a nice job adding 3 to the board. Makes that an even 4-0 for Indianapolis. When we return, more action next year, watching Greyhound football on UINDY TV.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Back here and ready for kickoff at Key Stadium as the lights come on and things get brighter down on the field. The sun sets behind us. What a game so far for Indianapolis's offense. 40 points after the successful field goal by Colin Seymour. He is now tasked with putting the ball on the 35-yard line and booting it hopefully through the back of the end zone if his wishes are met. Pringle back to return for St. Xavier's. This kick is high and will go through the back of the end zone. Sure enough, what a kick there. All of the leg of Seymour, and you can see why he won the kicking battle in training camp, because it was a battle. Paul Boozman, last year, the kicker ended up leaving, so he's no longer a Greyhound, and there was a few names there in the running for Indianapolis's kicking game, and it was Seymour who came out on top, and we can see why he's played pretty well today. I feel like I've asked this the last couple drives. However, how can St. Xavier get anything going here on offense? They haven't found any success.
You can find tons of authentic.
Well, your guess is as good as mine. I wouldn't know how to attack this UINDY defense. They are strong on all fronts. Up front, they're in your face every single time. The pressure's there. Down the field, there's no space. So
that is Caden Colford. I'm Nathaniel Finch. Here's the run play up the middle, and really nothing there as he gets back to the line of scrimmage, but finds nothing more as the Greyhounds do a great job holding him. As Aaron Barnett makes the primary tackle. That was Matt Shavers, the third, in on the rush, and he's a big-bodied running back, but the Greyhounds have done a better job being physical up front.
1 yard pickup, 2nd and 9.
That was just a gain of a yard. Here's 2nd down and long, but a fumble is the snap. Again, not what the Greyhounds need it to be. They'll lose a couple yards. Crisis averted, though, as they get back on the ball and set up 3rd down and long. We've just seen too many mistakes here on both sides of the ball for the team in white. The St. Xavier Cougars with a trips formation at the bottom of your screen. Greyhounds will bring 3 defensive backs over there to cover, although showing blitz. Showing a heavy blitz. All the linebackers come home. Here's the pass, complete on the near side. Slipped and fell. He got about a yard or two before he goes down. That's Brant Hickson, who's having himself a decent game today, but not able to get anything there. And again, a 3 and out, yet another one. This defense just doing everything they can to stop any type of forward progress by St. Xavier.
And you have to think that as a quarterback, it is so frustrating to have defenders in your face every second of every play.
Ross, 13 of 20 for 74 yards, 2 interceptions. He's done a good job of spreading the ball around. No receiver has more than 3 receptions, but really no success because no receiver has more than 10 yards. 4 receivers have negative yardage. Here's the punt. Pulselli sends it up. It's a high wobbly kick. Gets another St. Xavier bounce. That's something that we've seen quite a bit from their punt team, and believe me, we've seen a lot of their punt team. A lot of St. Xavier rolls here. Moves the ball back about an extra 10, 15 yards from where it originally landed. So the Greyhounds set up at the 40-yard line. Still good field position, though. His offense probably feels pretty good about this situation they're about to go into.
The defense has really created for UINDY's offense today, always putting them in good field position, forcing punts.
They've been in great field position this entire game, just like you mentioned. Starting field positions from places like the opponent's 34-yard line at one point, the 42 of St. Xavier, and near midfield for the rest of them. They've done a great job, the defense has, getting good field position for the offense, and special teams doing a good job in that same regard with the punt team. The Hounds going to be looking to throw with Christian Conkling, the new quarterback coming in as a backup. Kellen Porter gets the handoff and violently makes his way only to the line of scrimmage. Did a lot of work there for not a lot, as it's now going to be 2nd down and long. But now we're going to see how Christian Conkling can do. We did see him for 1 play earlier because of that play where he lost his helmet, but other than that, have not seen a lot of him, and it's going to be interesting to see how he can do here in relief for the Greyhounds, and maybe looking at someone that they can see some snaps from in the future. Although they got to be pretty confident with how their sophomore quarterback, Kennett, has been playing. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 40-yard line. Conkling hands the ball off to Porter. We're going to see that a lot today. Instead, it's going to be Conkling keeping it himself. Comes to lower shoulder for about 7 yards, near the 50. 3rd down and short. As we can see on the replay, a nice read option. He had the wide open side of the field, and that's what led him to lower his shoulder and make his way up to the 47-yard line on the Hounds side of the field. Third down and 3, 47-yard line. Conkling seeing his first 3rd down. Did come in for that 3rd down play earlier, but the first one where he's going to actually have to do some work here. So he hands it off to Kellen Porter, who loses 2 yards. How about the defense getting in and making the stop? That was for St. Xavier. A great play by this defensive front and Peyton Campbell.
Those front 4 for St. Xavier definitely came out of halftime ready to play.
Seeing a lot of 3 and outs for St. Xavier. It's the just 3rd 3 and out of the game for Indianapolis, 2nd one of this half. not coming out playing with the same effort level, you could say, because a lot of their starters out of the game. They're just coming in and trying to milk some of the clock away, trying to get to the end of this game, trying to get to the after party, as this Greyhounds have a lot to celebrate. The punt nearly blocked. Instead, it does go successfully by Zeller. It is fair caught at the 12-yard line by Pringle. So now St. Xavier sets up their offense again, backed up near their own side of the field. You've seen this quite a bit where their drives have started opposite of the Greyhounds, backed up near their own end zone.
For sure, and as a play caller, that puts a lot of pressure on you because you don't have a lot of space to work with.
And that's where we saw the one-play drive that ended in a safety after the bad snap went right through the back of the end zone. Hoping you don't see that for this offense, but that's basically summed up how this game has gone for them. Just a bad snap. Quarterback can't even get a handle on it, and they end up losing a couple points. They've had terrible starting field position for most of this day. Have yet to start on the right side of the 50 here. Started at the 13-yard line for one play. They were at the 16 for another, the 20 for a third. Everything else is between the 20 and the 30. Really no substance of a good starting field position, and here they have to be backed up after that penalty to make it even worse for them. Believe it or not, this is their worst starting field position of the game, as they're going to be set up with a first down and 10 at the 8-yard line. Just a lot of self-inflicted errors. Referee sets the ball. Here's a first down and 10 to start the drive at the 8. 92 yards of green in front of this offense. Standing in his own end zone, pressure comes, needing to get the throw away, throws it up for grabs, incomplete. Intended receiver was Justin Pringle. Quite a bit of Greyhounds in the area. Michael Brown was in on the coverage as well as Landry Mavungu, so now give that a second down and 10. And now you mentioned the pressure by the play caller. How about the pressure by the quarterback? He's standing in the gray part of the field right there when he has to get that throw off. If he gets sacked or if anything goes wrong, then that's obviously points for the other team.
For sure, and he has very, very limited time to get the ball off.
Out of the shotgun formation, spread look, looks to throw. You mentioned it, limited time. This time he does have a guy open downfield, and it's intercepted. Michael Brown for the Greyhounds running down the sideline, now switching field position. He's inside the 10. He's trying to score. He's all the way over to about the 6-yard line before he runs into a wall. And how about the Greyhounds? The defense with yet another takeaway, another interception. That's their third interception of the game. And you see Michael Brown with a great return there. Had one interception, just one last season, and he gets one here. He was the first-team all-conference player for Indianapolis, the sophomore from North Central High School. Here about a half hour from campus.
And we pondered what weak spots St. Xavier might attack in the UINDY defense, but UINDY has yet to show a weak spot.
And that's something that once you play some tougher talent, once you play some of these tougher teams in Division II, you're going to see more of those weak spots. But last year is the secondary. This year, I mean, I know it's against an inferior talented team in St. Xavier, but really no weak spots like you mentioned. That secondary holding up very well. Here's Conkling, handoff left side to Kellen Porter, who stays on his feet. It looked like there was some daylight in front of him. He ends up only gaining a couple yards. Gets to the 6, a gain of 2. That sets up the Greyhounds with a second down and goal from that 6-yard line. Time for about 2, maybe 3 more plays before the quarter break. And remember, we're going to be down on the sideline with Grayson Holt at the end of this quarter. So be sure to stick around for that report. Grayson's done such a good job down on the sideline. We appreciate her efforts. Back up in the booth, though, Nathaniel Finch with Caden Colford. Had Giselle Valentine on the call earlier in this game. A team effort for this game as we have a second down and goal from the 6. Looking to throw his Conkling out of the gun, throws it to the back of the end zone. Caught! How did he catch that? Touchdown, Greyhounds! That is Rory Heltzley who makes the catch in the corner of the end zone. And looking here at the replay, what a catch and what a throw by Conkling. Heltzley reaches up and just makes a great play over the defender. Caden, I don't think anything can go wrong for this Greyhounds offense. The defense is doing their part, the offense obviously thriving, and it's just been an all-around great game for Indianapolis.
Conklin said go up and get it, and he went up and got it.
It was a pretty good throw for a backup quarterback as well. You got to like what you have in that quarterback room if you are Indianapolis, as the PAT goes between the uprights for a successful extra point. 47-0 the scores. The Greyhounds dominating at Key Stadium. More next on UINDY TV.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Back on the south side of Indianapolis as the Greyhounds score yet again another touchdown. 47-0 the score as we yet again see this kickoff team on the field for Indianapolis. The Greyhounds have to be very happy with what they're seeing here on the field from their quarterback. How about Christian Conkling? Second on the depth chart, started training camp probably at third. It was kind of a three-way competition. Connor Connett, who's played very well today, wasn't guaranteed the job going into training camp. Had the transfer from San Jose State, the redshirt junior Matt Dertarashin in as well, and then Christian Conkling just seemed to impress the coaches over the last couple weeks during that backup role. Here's a wobbly kick that drops inside the 20, picked up by St. Xavier's. They make a couple nice moves to get near the 21-yard line. How about Kyle Quinn with that return?
Brought down on the play for number 41, that's Jalen Wilson.
See on this replay here, Quinn does a nice job just trying to find any kind of room. Greyhounds do an even better job, though, pulling him to the ground. First down and 10 from the 23. Here's another drive starting for St. Xavier. Have not found much success. A weird snap, handoff goes to Chavers, who rumbles his way forward for a gain of 1. And how about this? Here's the play number, the amount of plays that St. Xavier's had in each drive. 3 plays and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Those are their last 3. They had a 2 and out before they threw an interception. 3 and out punt, 2 and out interception, 1 play safety, 3 and out punt. Those are their last few possessions, and they have done nothing of substance here today on offense. That's 8 straight times that they couldn't have get a 4th play on. And now, as we are at the end of the 3rd quarter, we're going to head down to the field with our sideline reporter and Grayson Holt. Grayson, what do you have for us?
Welcome back to UINDY TV. Today, the UINDY Greyhounds are on fire with a 0-47 lead right now. This is something I'm so excited to see into the season. I don't know if you guys are excited, but I am so excited to see UINDY lead us into a victory tonight. Stay tuned for the last quarter here on UINDY TV.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Back here for the quick slant. Nice little catch over the middle by the slot receiver and Brant Hickson. He'll gain about 4 or 5 yards and sets up 3rd down and short.
That is Sam Flowers.
I just told you how many times the Greyhounds have limited this offense to 3 plays or less in a drive. This is their chance to maybe get a 4th play in because it's 3rd down and short. We'll see if they can do something on 3rd and 2. What do you think we're going to see here, Caden?
I'd say a quick pass, a slant over the middle.
That's happened pretty often today, and met with some limited success, but all they need is 2 yards, and that's exactly what happens. Caden, why don't you tell me what the lottery numbers are for next week's Hoosier Lotto, because that was a quick slant over the middle by Justin Pringle, who moves the chains, and now we could potentially see a 4th play here by the offense. As we see here on the replay, a nice job by Stuart Ross to make just a quick throw. He did have a little bit of pressure on his face, but it didn't matter as he made the throw. Next throw is well over the head of all of his intended receivers. Can't see it on the screen, but it is an incomplete pass, and we'll set up 2nd down and 10. But behold, a 4th play on this drive. First time that's happened since all the way back with 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Ross, 15 for 25 today, 84 yards and 3 interceptions. Man in motion is Hickson. Ross flushed out of the pocket. He has to get rid of it. We could see a flag fly. Doesn't seem like they're going to call him for intentional grounding, although the coaches are asking for it. As we see here, he's still inside the tackle box, on the run, has to throw it. No one's in the area. But regardless, here is a loss of none on 2nd down and 10. Some discussion on the field as we get a new ball in. Second down and 10 turns to 3rd down and 10 after 2 straight incomplete passes, and now a bit more pressure on this offense. Stuart Ross and the gang trying to find some semblance of scoring this drive. Out of the gun, 4 receivers set, pressure in his face. He'll step up in the pocket. Now he's flushed out. He is almost brought down by Gary Arnstead. Going to tuck it and run himself, and takes a big hit from behind, and 4 Greyhounds sandwich him to the ground. A loss of about 3. Bring out the punt team. Caden, how are the Greyhounds doing such a good job applying pressure this game?
They are really putting pressure on their offensive line. They're in their face every single play, pushing them over, going straight through them.
And how about the relentlessness of Xavier Guerrier, who missed the opening sack, turned around and came back and got that first hit on the quarterback. Here's another quick slant. This one goes to Pringle. Justin Pringle reaches forward, gains a few yards, but not enough on 4th down and long. That's a turnover on downs. As we see, the replay here was actually a pretty nice throw, but just didn't get it far enough across the sticks. Great effort by Pringle, but just not enough, and the Greyhounds offense comes out with great field position at the 41 of the Cougars. Conkling back out to lead this offense after he threw a touchdown pass on the last drive. We'll see if he can continue that. Some new receivers in the game for Indianapolis, namely Logan Caney out of the slot, and had to start a few games at the end of last year due to injuries to the main players in the receiving corps. Here's a handoff. Goes to Jaquan Buchanan, gains about a yard or 2. And yet another nice job by this defensive line for St. Xavier getting the stop. They've done a pretty good job up front here in the trenches. I know you've talked about that a little bit.
For sure, for sure. They've progressed over the game a lot. They're starting to put pressure on the inside gaps and putting a lot of pressure on the running back.
Conkling the quarterback, Porter the running back. 3 receivers set in the tight end. That's McNeilis in motion. They're going to hand it off to Porter, who spins his way forward. He's done that pretty nicely today. He'll gain a few and set up a nice 3rd down and about 4. That's ball down at the 35.
Number 44,
so far on the game, rushing-wise, Kellen Porter has 8 carries for 37 yards. Good for almost 5 yards a pop, doing a good job on the ground.
3rd down and 4.
3rd down and 4 from the 35-yard line. Out of the shotgun formation, Buchanan, the running back, standing to the left of Conkling. Claps his hands together to indicate the snap. Here is Buchanan with a full head of steam, bouncing it to the outside before he's brought down. Not until he gets to the 21-yard line. Making potentially the touchdown-saving tackle was Vince Clinty, the junior linebacker, but how about this rush? What a great job by Buchanan, just turns on the jets.
The blocking scheme was perfect. The offensive linemen were upfield, allowing the running back to run right behind him, downhill.
First down and 10 from the 22-yard line. Knocking on the door of the red zone. Conkling, the quarterback. Porter, the running back. He gets the handoff. He'll push his way up front. He's got good vision there, but can't see anything as this defensive line collapses quickly. Maybe allows a gain of a yard for Porter, and Buchanan back into the game on 2nd down and 9.
That's Ryan Fitzgerald.
Ryan Fitzgerald, the defender, in on the tackle. One of many Cougars in on the tackle.
2nd and 9 coming up.
Again, a slew of new receivers into the game for Indianapolis. A lot of new players just in trying to get some younger guys some experience. Called a JV team, potentially. Looking to throw his Conkling. Goes towards the boundary, makes the catch, and enough for the first down. How about that? How about a nice little couple catches for Rory Heltzley? He had the touchdown catch earlier. The 6'3" freshman went to Gibson Southern. Doing a nice job moving the chains there. A nice physical catch, as you see here on the replay. A big thank you to Colin Jung, our cameraman, who got right in the action and had the nice camera shot there. Out of the pistol formation is Conkling. Handoff goes to Porter, who cuts it upfield. How about this? Look at this cut as he makes his way into the end zone. Porter walks in for 6. And it is Kellen Porter, as you see here on the replay, with an amazing burst of power and speed. And he's just having himself a great day. The 2nd rushing touchdown for the Greyhounds. Okay, and even the backups, even the 4th string running back can come in and have success for Indianapolis. They've been able to do whatever they want here en route to what, as of right now, is a 53-0 lead. KJ Raudebush will hold. The kicker is Colin Seymour for the PAT to make it 54-0. Between the uprights does just that. When we return, more action next. Still 10 minutes of play at Key Stadium. You're watching Greyhound football on UINDY TV.
From court to court and lane to lane, under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub, with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
Back at Key Stadium on the south side of Indianapolis, about 10 minutes from downtown Indy, as the Greyhounds doing everything they want on offense and pretty much everything they want to do on defense as well, manhandling the St. Xavier Cougars in what has been a great opening showcase here for the offense of Indianapolis as they're ready to kick this one away. The last kick went through the back of the end zone for Colin Seymour. We'll see if he can continue that here. The Greyhounds here as a team, so far with 40 rushing attempts, 244 rushing yards. Their bread and butter today as this one goes again through the back of the end zone. Another great kick by Seymour. Passing wise for Indianapolis, not too shabby, 199 passing yards and 5 passing touchdowns. It's been a great game today for the Greyhounds. Defense also has 3 interceptions, really having their way as well. Plenty of tackles for a loss. And now as we've got a lot of younger guys in on defense for Indianapolis, we'll see if this offense can find any success. Had their best drive in quite a while the last time out. We'll talk about that here in just a moment as this pass goes incomplete. Intended receiver for St. Xavier, Ronnie Foster. That was John O'Sullivan, the quarterback into the game right now for St. Xavier, as they allow Stuart Ross to be put out of his misery. We'll head to the bench with a lot of the other starters for this game. Just trying to bleed the final 10 minutes off the clock for this game. Here's the handoff up the middle. Nice little burst as he finds a way to gain 9 yards. Maybe their best play in quite a while was by Mario Price.
For the Cougars.
Price, the freshman running back from Chicago, Illinois. He does a nice job there. The Greyhounds do a good job tackling as a gang, but not after he was able to still get near that first down marker. Here's 3rd down and 2 from the 33-yard line. A big play for this young offense, and the ball's on the ground. A fumble picked up by the Greyhounds. Another turnover. How about that? Another turnover, and the Greyhounds reserves dealing what the starters did all game. Justin Thomas gets the recovery.
For the Greyhounds, that's Justin Thomas on the fumble recovery.
And snaps like that have been a common occurrence today by St. Xavier, and as a coach, that has to be frustrating to see over and over again.
As we see a great celebration in front of us, the Greyhounds defense can do nothing but celebrate as they are enjoying one heck of a performance. And the offense now comes out. Now we see a 3rd quarterback in for Indianapolis. And I talked about it earlier. Started camp as one of the guys kind of vying for that starting spot. Now he's got a chance to prove that he can run around and make some moves. More of a mobile quarterback. That's Matt Dertarasen, the transfer from San Jose State. He's from California. Here's the first handoff. Goes to the running back here, as we now have a bevy of new players into the game. Quincy James, the running back for Indianapolis.
First carry of the evening for the Hounds.
In front of us is a 2nd down and 8 from the 20-yard line. The Greyhounds offense definitely with a lot in front of them. Or rather, they're starting basically in the end zone. This is a great opportunity for them to put some more points up and get these younger guys the experience they need. Some bragging rights, too, that they scored in the opening game. Here is the handoff to Quincy James. He lowers his shoulder and gets it near the first down yard mark. Just shy of it, though. We'll see what this next play holds. That's a pretty good play on defense, though. You got to like how these reserves are playing on defense, still showing their full heart. Nice tackle there by the Cougars, Chris Swain.
Coming up for the Hounds.
Third down and 7 from the 19-yard line. An unsuccessful play probably brings out the field goal unit. Here's the handoff up the middle. That's James again, but he can't find hardly anything. Maybe he gains a yard or two, and probably going to see the field goal unit come out now and attempt another field goal.
Number 33, Nico.
Sure enough, in comes Colin Seymour to attempt this kick. 1 for 1 on the day. Made a 36-yarder, missed a 42-yarder. This will be a 34-yard kick. Radabush the holder. Seymour looking to put this one between the uprights for 3. He kicks it away. It does indeed go between the uprights. 57-0 now the score. Seymour picks up his second made field goal of the game. More next on UINDY TV.
Is up and good with 7 minutes and 21 seconds remaining.
As we return to Key Stadium, how about the long snapper for Indianapolis, Doug Howe? He's a graduate student from Valparaiso, and he was a long snapper and a running back at Valparaiso, one of the only colleges that allowed him to play both of those positions, a pretty unique spot for a long snapper to be in. But then he comes over to Indianapolis as a graduate assistant for the strength and conditioning team. Greyhounds had a bit of an opening at long snapper. He came over to Coach Keevers and said, hey, Coach, I still have a year of eligibility left because of the COVID year that we got. I can come long snap for you for a year. And sure enough, he's come out and he's done a heck of a job today as this kick goes into the arms of the returner, who's showing a nice little burst of speed as he makes his way past the 25 to the 26-yard line. A nice return there by Javon Mays.
Cougars will take over possession 1st and 10.
So now the Cougars have it 1st and 10. We'll see if this offense can do anything. And as I've asked that the last several drives, they have been unsuccessful the entire game at putting up any sustenance of a drive. Their longest drive ended up being 26 yards. That was their second drive of the game and still ended in a fumble that went the other way for Indianapolis. Not able to find any sort of offense. Here's a handoff, goes to the right side with Mario Price, and he shows the speed. How about those cuts as he is hit hard, but not after. He gains about 7 yards on 1st down.
5 and 19.
Tackle on the play by number 55.
And Price, these last couple drives has shown a lot of upside. He's shown a lot of cuts, a lot of jukes, and it looks really nice out there.
Maybe earning himself some playing time for future games. Out of the shotgun formation, Price is the running back, John O'Sullivan the quarterback. Quick throw down the field, shows off some strength, but it is an incomplete pass. Into double coverage, but looked like a decent opportunity for the receiver, but he's still not able to haul this one in, and we'll set up a 3rd down and medium. That was Javon Mays in on the attempt.
3rd and 3 coming up for the Cougars.
Another 3rd down, in danger of yet another 3 and out today. We've seen so many of those for this offense. 3rd and 3 from the 34. Quick throw over the head and 3 and out, number 5. Oh, except there's a flag on the play in the offensive backfield. This one could be against the defense. We'll wait and see.
4th down coming up. Penalty flag.
Seen quite a bit of penalties on this Greyhounds defense for roughing the passer early and for different unnecessary roughness calls. We'll see if that's a similar call here or not.
Personal foul, illegal block below the waist, number 25. Offense.
Rather, it's going to be against the offense. An illegal block below the waist. The chop block moves him back a few yards. Greyhounds will gladly accept that penalty, give their defense another chance to go out there and get some reps on the field. You see a lot of young guys on the field wearing black, but one guy that's been out there all game is Xavier, one of the better leaders for this team, a team captain. He's out there just trying to lead this defense, trying to see if he can get anything going for these young guys. As now we've got a quick throw over the middle, over the head of one of the defenders near the boundary. Incomplete pass. Again, Mays was the intended receiver. A great job by the Greyhounds, Brandon Thomas, to break it up. And now we'll see 4th down. And how about the linebacker for Indianapolis, who's coming in this reserve role? He's thrived the last couple years as a reserve. KJ Raudebush, a guy that went to Tipton High School, who my senior year in high school played against Western Boone, my alma mater, and was a all-purpose player for Tipton and did a good job at quarterback, was the 2nd all-state quarterback behind, of course, my own Spencer Wright, who went to high school with me, but did a great job in high school and has really come out and showed that athleticism at linebacker as this ball rolls and continues to roll. How about that punt as it goes all the way to the 35 of Indianapolis? We have seen one bright side, Caden, and that's the punt team for St. Xavier.
They definitely have some depth of the position for sure.
We've seen probably 5 or 6 different punters into the game for this team, but like you said, they're doing a pretty good job in that regard, and you love to see it. At least they can find some positives here. We've seen Chavers with 3 punts, Polselli with 2 punts, Pringle with a punt. And together they've actually done a pretty nice job, all averaging over 40 yards per punt this game. Out of the shotgun formation, quarterback's going to keep it near side, and he just does a little dance before he steps out of bounds. Torsen was the quarterback. And on the tackle was Traven Lee, the defensive back.
Pick up 2 yards on the play, 2nd and 8 coming up for UINDY.
While you're here watching this game, be sure to hit the subscribe and the bell to notify yourself of any of our live events that we have and any uploads we have here on UINDY TV's YouTube page. As now the quarterback keeper, again, he's tripped up for a loss of about 1, and a flag flies. A lot of extracurriculars here as the defense not quite happy with how that play ended. Ayobami Arakoyo, who's had a great game today, is in on that scuffle.
And it's starting to become evident the mental wear that this game has had on the St. Xavier sideline.
The guy who's played this entire game, who was out there just a little too emotional, and we'll wait for the call, but I imagine it's going to be some type of personal foul, sure enough. They're going to call it against the offense, though, so move the offense back a bit, replay second down. Instead of a loss of about 1 that the quarterback sustained, it'll be a loss of even more than that. They're going to step out 15 yards here from the spot of the foul. Ball's going to land on the 22-yard line. We'll see second down and 23 to go. The offense trying to tick some time off the clock. Out of the shotgun formation, Dirtarson, handoff near side, goes to Price. All right, beg your pardon, Quincy James, who doesn't find a lot there. Maybe a gain of 3, sets up third down and a mile.
Brought down on the play by Vince Cornite.
We're now to the 5th and maybe 6th string running back here on the roster. And if you're Coach Keevers, Caden, you got to like what you've seen from all these backs.
For sure, for sure. The depth is almost unmatched. It looks really nice to me. Everybody has their own unique tricks, their own unique moves, but they all have one thing in common. They're all quick. Well, more than one thing in common. They're quick, they're shifty, they're fast, they're smart. They can find the gaps and attack those gaps.
Quarterback keeper, again, we've seen a lot of mobile plays from this guy, but he takes a big hit, ends up losing about a yard or 2. We'll bring out the punt team on 4th down and very long as Matt Dirtarashin can't do a whole lot there. Again, the transfer player from Laguna Hills, California, went to San Jose State. Now he's trying to latch on to this Greyhounds team. So far hasn't seen a pass attempt today, but he's had a few rushing attempts. We've got Brian Mullins as Mullins Mullet Mania back on the field. He punted most of last year. Ends up losing his starting spot in training camp, and now seeing if he can put together some good tape at the punt position. Almost gets his punt blocked. Instead, it's a nice high end-over-end punt that will be fair caught at the 40-yard line. Making the fair catch for St. Xavier is Adam Alcantar. So now the Greyhounds punting it away to the Cougars. They've got 3:44 to go, and this is their chance, Caden, to get that goose egg off the board. What do you think they're going to be able to do here?
For sure. If I'm St. Xavier, I can't go home with a 0 on the board. Just for the sake of pride, I have to put it all into this drive right here and put some points on the board.
Visit us online at aquasystems.com. Aqua Systems, your home water expert.
At this point, trying to bleed the clock and keep the penalties in the pocket of the referees. Here's a handoff up the middle to Price. He lowers his shoulder and lowers his head and gains about 4 yards on first down. Handled down the ball at the 45-yard line for the offense, nearing midfield. Second down and medium. Letting time drip off the clock. Out of the gun is O'Sullivan. Handoff again goes to Mario Price, the freshman running back out of Chicago Heights, Illinois. Sullivan, a junior, 6'3" from Park Ridge, Illinois, went to Maine South High School in Illinois. Gain of only about 1 yard, so we've got third down and 5 in front of us. Ball's at the 46-yard line for the Cougars. Maybe fourth down territory at this point. A punt does you no good, just trying to find something good to put on tape if you're the offense. It'll be a little running back screen. Mario Price is brought down after a loss of about 3. And the Greyhounds with a great stop on defense. How about that? Brandon Thomas with a great play on defense.
And that's the story of the night. Like I said earlier, this entire defensive unit is filled with ball hawks, attacking the ball at every chance they get.
Also in on that play to make the stop was Jalen Wilson, the sophomore linebacker from Brownsburg High School here near Indianapolis. That'll bring out the punt team now. Joe Pulselli, the primary punter, and to get this one off his leg, and he does it. A nice booming kick, wobbles its way to the 10-yard line. Picked up by the Greyhounds, now reversing field position. Marquise Gillum trying to find something here, but there's not a whole lot as he has to be forced out of bounds to the 15-yard line. Marquez Gillum sent out of bounds. The 5'6", very short, very light, 142-pound freshman from Reynoldsburg, Ohio, but again, the fastest player probably on this Greyhounds roster, drawing a lot of rave reviews for his speed in camp. Coach Keevers couldn't stop talking about him in a conversation I had earlier in the summer, and he's really just done a nice job kind of popping off on tape, but today it's been all the other receivers who've been able to come up and make some good plays for Indianapolis. They've had quite a bit of guys on offense hauling in these catches and doing a great job, namely the team lead in receptions with Jeremiah Lee. He's got 4 of those. As victory formation is upon us, we'll have a few of those as there's still about 90 seconds to go in the game.
Second down coming up.
Stick around here because after a couple kneel downs, we'll have a couple interviews with Grayson Holt on our sideline. Of course, head coach Chris Keevers will come over and talk. We'll also have quarterback and standout player in this game, Connor Connett. Call him the player of the game because he will be interviewed by Grayson here momentarily. But first, going to let the rest of the 8 seconds bleed off the play clock here before the next kneel down.
And long story short, I don't think the Greyhounds could have hoped for a more successful opening night. The coaching staff, the parents, the players have to be satisfied with what they saw tonight, and I'm excited for week 2.
A lot of excitement here at Key Stadium. You got to imagine after what a great performance here. You love to end the game in victory formation. You love to bring in your, we'll call it JV roster in the 4th. Waiting to reset the play clock here so the final few seconds can come off the clock. Just going to let the rest of the game tick away. So Coach Keevers will celebrate with his team. A big win for Indianapolis. Final score 57-0. The Greyhounds victorious at Key Stadium. We'll step aside and take a break. When we return, Grayson Holt on the sideline with our interviews. Be back next on UINDY TV. At Key Stadium, 57-0. The Greyhounds victorious at home against the St. Xavier Cougars. And just a quick recap of what happened. How did the Greyhounds find so much success? What do you think is the biggest key to the game here for them today? Biggest key to their victory?
Their mentality. You could tell from the get-go that they wanted to push it down the field as fast as they could, and they didn't care who was in front of them the entire time.
a staple of good coaching, as you can imagine. This coaching staff really did a great job getting the players ready this training camp. Started training late June, early July, and just did a great job getting this team prepared for the first week, and man, what a game it was. We'll look at the upcoming schedule here for Indianapolis, and it's going to be a while before they're back home, but who do they have up next on their slate?
The Southwest Baptist Bearcats.
Of course, this is their home opener, so they've got a few games still ahead of them. They're going to travel to Tiffin, Ohio next week. Then a trip to Columbus, Ohio to play Ohio Dominican. And then we'll see them host Southwest Baptist here, not until October 1st. So we've got quite a ways until the next home game, but how about this one? Making this one count, 57 points up front at home, and you got to imagine maybe the Greyhounds can have a little number in front of their name next time you see it on this board. Maybe a ranking here in Division II after such a big opening season win. For St. Xavier, you got to find some positives out of here, and while it may be tough to find some, they did have a few instances where they were able to run the ball mildly successful, so you got to like that. You got to like how your special teams unit played for most of the game. Of course, it's hard to play good offense when you're backed up against your own goal line, but for the most part, they did a good job on special teams, pinning the Greyhounds at different times, as good as they could, being backed up at their own goal line. Now we'll take a look at the upcoming schedule for St. Xavier.
St. Xavier on September 10th next week is facing a pretty talented St. Thomas team that played Butler today and played them a pretty close game. They ended up falling about 3 or 4 points short, but that's definitely going to be a tough matchup for them. And then the next week, September 17th, will be in Siena Heights University. And, you know, heading into these next 2 weeks, they definitely have a lot to work on. But, hey, the only way you can go is up.
Exactly, and it was the Greyhounds who won 34-10 last year, and St. Xavier still bounced back to make the NAIA playoffs. So, of course, you can't say all hope is lost after such a loss here against Indianapolis. They were just a better, more talented, bigger team, and it showed there. That's the difference between Division II talent and NAIA talent. So, still a full season ahead for St. Xavier. Not all hope is lost after a game. Don't ring the emergency bells quite yet. But for Indianapolis, you got to love what you put on tape. Again, not to overreact, because they're going to be playing some tougher talent, namely Tiffin next week, who really played them tough. Tiffin and Ohio Dominican, who both gave them losses last year at home. They got to travel on the road for those. That'll be a couple tough games for Indianapolis, and we'll see how they can carry the momentum from this game into the next. Here in just a few moments, we'll have that sideline interview with Coach Keevers. Grayson Holt's going to interview him and Connor Kinnett. After the Greyhounds done celebrating, they've got plenty to celebrate about, and you see Keevers making his way over to the sideline now. And how about this offensive unit? All those receivers, the Greyhounds had to have loved how they played. They had plenty of guys in and making plenty of plays for Indianapolis on offense, namely Frank Bentley, 57 yards to lead the game and a touchdown. Also had Jeremiah Lee, game lead, 4 receptions for 36 yards and a touchdown. 2 touchdowns from Ransom, a touchdown in garbage time from Heldsley. As far as rushing wise goes, Toriano Clinton led the charge with 11 carries, 145 yards and a touchdown. The man set the single season record for Indianapolis last year in rushing yards in just 8 games, and here he's on a good start with 145 to start things off, and didn't even play the full first half. Gotta love what you saw from the star running backs here for Indianapolis. And now with this, we're gonna head down in a few moments to our sideline reporter, Grayson Holt. She's got head coach Chris Keevers standing by in just a couple moments. Now down to the sideline.
All right. Are we about to go? Okay. Welcome back to UINDY TV. I'm Grayson here. I'm here again with Coach Kinnett. Hi, Coach Kinnett. So I have a couple questions to ask you. In 2 weeks, you'll be in your home state of Ohio going against Tiffin. What are you going to take from this game, and what are you also going to improve to also secure the victory over there?
Well, I tell you what, he was shaky early. He was shaky early. Came in, got comfortable in the second quarter. Then he played really well in the third quarter, so he's going to take some momentum in there.
Of course, we're talking about Connor Kinnett here. He's our first starting quarterback. He's a sophomore, and this is his first game ever. That's super exciting.
Right here.
Oh, Connor! Okay, so what does this win kind of solidify the tone for the rest of the season for you, do you think?
Just a good momentum booster. First win It was sloppy, but we'll get better going into our bye.
Perfect. And how does it feel receiving such a big win with this being your first game as a starting quarterback for the UINDY Greyhounds?
It feels good. Just got to keep building off this one.
That's perfect. Thank you so much for this interview. Thank you so much. I'm Grayson Holt. Thank you for tuning into UINDY TV.
Her work throughout this entire game, and I'd like to thank the entire crew here at UINDY TV. Sydney Smith, our director, Joey Messenbrink, Alima Jones back in the control room, Naya Ortiz and Dream Scott on camera, along with Colin Jung and Logan Wong. A big thank you to our engineer, Tom Weber, and a huge thank you to Rick Dunkel, who did a great job putting all this together and empowering us to have such a broadcast. Thank you to Grayson Holt, our sideline reporter, Giselle Valentin on color commentary, along with Caden Colford. I'm Nathaniel Finch saying so long. Final score 57-0 here at Key Stadium.